How in the world is Charlemagne able to do this Breakfast Club interview with a straight face with this man dressed as a woman with the weave wig? It looks like there could be breast implants and a beard with nails. This is just disgusting. This is disgusting. And what's even more disgusting about this, not to mention the fact that they didn't ask this man, do you have any type of mental issues, or are you thinking clearly, straight in the head? Somebody had said in the comments, which I thought was hilarious, they said that this dude looks like Young Miami mixed with a man or something like that. Yeah, because let's not forget, this dude is part of Young Miami's camp. You know, to spin that scammer song. Yo, when I see these types of things, it really makes me ask this question. Is there definitely the powers that be that have infiltrated hip-hop and that are putting this in the mainstream on the radio? I know people like Serge said, stop saying that there's the mainstream. But when we have interviews like this with the Breakfast Club, it really is, yo. It really is affecting what we hear in the mainstream. I mean, you know, like, look, the video already got like 15,000, almost 20,000 hits in just a few hours, or like within a day or so. You know, and this is actually, I think, low for the Breakfast Club. So I guess the numbers are kind of showing what's going on here. But the fact that not only are they trying to call this, whatever this is, a rapper, but they're also saying that this, whatever this is, again, is part of hip hop and selling on the hip hop charts. And I was like, yo, man, I just can't believe this interview.
I was like number 50.
Debuted at number 45 on Billboard's Hip Hop R&B chart.
Period.
Landed on Apple Music's front page, repeat playlist within the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's so catchy.
I was like number 50 something in hip hop and rap. I was number 120 something in all genres. Number 4 on iTunes. It's still to this day, We Just Shake This One, the number 1 song on TikTok.
And what about this whole conversation about it?
What did he say again? Did he say that he was what with hip hop? He was on what number?
Number 4 on iTunes. It's still to this day, We Just Shake This One, the number 1 song on TikTok.
And what about this whole conversation about it? 'Cause I promise you, we was at a wedding this weekend.
I can't believe that they're promoting this song. And this is why I'm coming back to it.
Yep.
It's so catchy.
I was like number 50 something in hip hop and rap. I was
in hip hop and rap. Whew. I think we all gotta say, yo, since when did we let this man into our culture? Don't we have a guideline? Like I said, this goes back to what I said earlier about how some people were like, well, he raps and he's on the Billboard charts, so therefore that makes him hip hop. Get out of here. Get out of here, you effing idiot. Like I said earlier, since when did we let this man into our culture? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did this man get into the culture? Now, I know that he's down with Young Miami and all these other degenerate rappers. Okay, I get it. I'm trying to wonder, and we all know that Young Miami was like part of Diddy's freak offs and all this stuff. She even has Twitter posts, which she now has deleted, basically saying that she would get Diddy to do things to her ops if needed. This is before Diddy got arrested. She was posting Twitter beefs about, you know, shut up before I make Diddy do this to you. Yeah, she deleted those tweets real quick, right? So we know that she probably has some money that was funded to her through Diddy and through the CIA. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, we all know who Diddy was working with now, right? Like, I think we all know who Diddy was working with. I think we all know that Diddy had some powerful people working with him, right? And he was able to fund this degeneracy of rap and rappers. And I believe that this is, I haven't really done my full thorough background check on this dude, but I know that he's part of that Young Miami camp, which comes out of the Diddy Foundation. So I kind of understand. Now, the fact that the Breakfast Club chose to put this on their radio show and that Charlemagne can sit there with a straight face is beyond me, yo.
Number 120 something in all genres. Number 4 on iTunes. It's still to this day. We just checked this morning. Number 1 song on TikTok.
And what about this whole conversation about it? Cause I promise you, we was at a wedding this weekend having a conversation about Quiet on the Creek, and it was like, no, his uncle took him to a creek and told him to be quiet when they fishing, or he'll scare the fish away.
My grandma.
Oh, okay.
My grandma. So growing up as a kid,
Now, some people said when they looked into the lyrics, and no, we're not going to look into the trash lyrics of this song, but they actually said that this song is really about sex and the fact that he has kids in the video, or he's doing promos with kids, but not to mention that he's doing promos with kids, but then there's also the video circulating online about how he was saying that everybody wants to be with him, including kids, and the fact that we haven't canceled this man for saying this. This could all be fake. You know what I mean? Like, it could even go down to the point to where this dude might even be just cosplaying a whole character, obviously, as we discussed yesterday. He might be cosplaying a whole character just to get in to a certain community. We all know what that is, right? To be able to be down with this community, to be able to get the funding. And like I said, I really dislike covering topics like this, but I think it is important that we take a look at what is being promoted to our youth. Okay? And just for context, let me see if I can pull up the video real quick, because it's actually like very, very disturbing. And what's even more disturbing about it is the people on Twitter. Like, I'm looking at the comments right now. Let's play it real quick. Is the people on Twitter who are trying to challenge me on this theory. Like, I don't even know what this comment says.
And I used to go fishing when I was a little girl. You gotta be real quiet on the creek.
I don't even want to play the sound because I'm not gonna get copywritten for this. This is really scary, yo. Lock your doors. Hide your children. Hide your children. Yo, we might need to sound the alarm on this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, sound the alarm.
Yeah.
Sound the alarm on this one, man. This could be a state of emergency. And you know what's also really interesting about this video is the fact that he has black little girls in the video. It's not kids of all races. It's not different age groups. No, it's little black girls. Now, the first thing that came to mind was, who were the parents that allowed them to be with this person in this? This is so disturbing, yo. And then can we also add, and we don't need to play the clip, or maybe we do. We don't need to add the fact that this dude went on Instagram and made his comment about kids, and now he's dancing with kids in a video or in a promo video. Disturbing. Hide your kids, y'all. Hide your kids. It goes back to my point. And Drake too, with letting the witches into the culture. It goes back to my point, man. These rappers right now are moving pretty dumb. We're gonna get into the Tupac thing too in just a moment. That shit is looking crazy, I gotta say.
Our family was like real big on fishing, and so
it's not what the song was about.
No.
Are you dealing with somebody on the down low?
It Quiet on the Creek could go for anything. I think that people just took it.
That's exactly what it means, is that he's messing with baby daddies on the down low.
And wanted to make it that, but that's not necessarily what the song is about. Now, in my second verse, I do have a line where I rap about having a trade and being quiet on the creek, but the song in entirety is not about a down low man, no.
Got you.
It's about not scaring the fish away, clown.
It's just
I'm
about.
telling you the conversation we had this conversation at a wedding.
I seen a lot of men talking about it too. I think that people is like so caught up in the meaning that they don't understand. It could go to.
And look at the dude sitting the way he's sitting with his legs crossed in the background. This is just too gay. Not once, I don't think, Charlemagne ever asked, "Hey man, so what was it like for you growing up in school? Did anybody ever say that you possibly had a mental health problem? That you might have, like, any man that dresses like this and oh, you're supposed to be accepting." No. Because this man also raps about negativity with his wig and fake breasts. Like somebody has said, a BBL and a beard.
Just learn how to wash his
learn
how to wash his ass.
But he was quiet on the creek about it.
Yeah, he was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You might got your favorite, we got our favorite bodega, our favorite gas station around the corner from your house. You go to real ugly, toes ain't done.
Oh my God.
You ain't brushed your teeth. You like, for real, I ain't checking no pictures this morning.
Yeah.
I just came to get a cup of coffee and a pack of cigarettes. For real, I'm not in the mood. You gotta go, you gonna be real quiet
Right
on the creek.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
When we was badass kids sneaking out your mama's house going to a teen party or something.
I bet you were a bad kid. Yeah, like I said, man, hip hop, rap is in danger. But like, those of us that are smart, that are intelligent, we know that we don't even consider this hip hop. It's really sad that the media and that Charlemagne. I mean, and look at Charlemagne's facial expression right here. Look at Charlemagne. Yo, it's really sad that we, or I shouldn't say we, because I think Charlemagne is now part of them. Now he's working with the COINTELPRO. He's part of the PSYOPs. I mean, he's even getting into politics now, and he's trying to push his agenda on voting and you know what I'm saying, and trying to do all that, influence votes and do interesting things, especially within the community. So, yeah, man, Charlemagne is one of them. But I gotta say, we gotta now separate this from other hip hop. We can no longer say that, like, oh, this is hip hop. This is hip hop. Like I said, tell me when we will see a country music star with a BBL and a wig with nails. Tell me when. When will we see this in country music? We will probably never see it in country music with him dressed with the dress on, dressed like a woman with fake breasts, probably put socks in the shirt to like have a breast. And then, or breast, and then dancing with young white girls in a country music video. You will never see that. When they allow that, which will never happen, but if they decide to to be open-minded to that. If country music decides to be open-minded to that, then maybe we can say, okay, the cultures are shifting. But until then, why is this only being accepted into hip-hop culture, especially with black men? This might be a whole nother discussion that I can go further in later. It might be a whole nother discussion. But I gotta say, man, it's pretty strange, man. Pretty strange that Charlamagne even allowed to do this. It's like, it really, like, I try to respect Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying? I really want to respect him, but it's like, the more and more that I see Charlamagne making moves like this, I have to say to myself, like, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can really consider you one of the ones, man. You must be getting paid to do this. Well, obviously you're getting paid, but still, it's just like, man. All right, we're going to move on to the next subject in just a second. I know we don't want to talk about this gay activity. And Angela Yee had to just bring it up the other, like, this dude's obviously got a campaign run. He's got his people behind him. Excuse the Twitter because it freezes up a little bit, but hopefully we could play whatever they're saying.
Your question, you said you miss Diddy, and they were all like, "Why does she miss Diddy? What's wrong with Diddy? Have you spoken to Diddy since he been locked up?"
No, but I mean, we not hip for that. I think people just take shit and take it out of context. That wasn't even a couple of weeks ago. That was like
Before the trial and all
a while ago. They was like, I know people comment and troll like, oh, you miss Diddy? Yeah. I don't went to one of his parties after the BET Awards. Bitch, we had a ball. What happened? Mm-hmm. So it's like, people be trying to troll. You can't troll me.
He show right back.
So yeah, like I said, that's where he comes from, the Diddy camp.
If you miss Diddy too, he was a Ciroc boy.
Yeah, he did.
Back
in the day,
Yeah, he
all
was
up in the
Ciroc boy.
videos and.
But Diddy was my guy.
Doing the Lord.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like people be trying to ask weird shit. It's like, yeah, what up? What you want to say?
I mean, Carisha's your best friend, and she was dealing with him, so we would have, of course, assumed that y'all got a chance to like hang out and like the people who follow you we knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Whatever, but on the same token of that, when Carisha finally did decide to like talk a bit about her relationship, she did to sit down with you, and y'all got into what she did and didn't experience, all those things, right? And you had said in that sit down, I think I remember correctly, you said that like you wanted her to kind of speak for herself because so many people were speaking for her at the time. What was it like during that time, just supporting her as a friend?
It was hard because it was like everybody counted her out and just was against her. Just was like, it was like this whole agenda, I feel like, at the time. And it's like, that's my best friend every day. So it's like, when you on the phone and she said or she down, now I'm saying I'm down because I don't want to see my friend like that. So I just think that she's such a like strong woman because even her going through all that, Carisha was in the studio. Like, that's what people didn't know.
That she could have sat down
Yeah, she was in the studio writing trash bars, that's for sure.
and talked to. I'm glad that it was actually you and you were one of her friends. I love how, and you are one of her friends. I love how you carefully curated the questions because you were actually there with her through all of this.
They can't be serious, yo. They really cannot be serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see this, I'm like, what is
You
this?
said you miss Diddy, and they were all like, "Why does she miss Diddy? What's wrong with Diddy? Have you spoken to Diddy since he been locked up?"
Like, they just cannot be serious with this, man. It's crazy. Let's see if Angela Yee brings up a much deeper
recent
topic.
thing that went viral again was the kids thing. Like, the kids want to, and I would love for you to clear that up.
Now, mind you,
Okay, pull it out.
Get the receipts.
because that's what I said. People like to clip.
What kids thing?
It's a clip where I said niggas want to fuck me, kids want to fuck me, aunties want to fuck me, everybody. And so they clipped it, and I think right now.
Yeah, that was a pretty dumb thing to say. And then you go off and then you do a video with yourself dancing with kids. Now, people are saying, well, he or she or it, whatever it is, faces black backlash. I'm actually looking it up right now for the resurfaced clip and kids dance video. But my point is this. Are we really like going to take this seriously, or are we going to say at least like this, like, yo, you know what? Dude has a mental issue. And this is not hip hop. This is not a rapper. This is somebody who has been sent by the powers that be, possibly the government. You know who I'm talking about, to destroy hip hop, to give hip hop a bad name. It's really becoming like, yo, it's really becoming scary in a way that, like, do y'all not see the attack on our culture? Do y'all not see it? Do y'all not see that there's an attack on our culture? And furthermore, it's not even just being attacked on hip hop culture. It's actually an attack on black culture. It's actually an attack on black African American, or let's just say African black culture. That's what this is an attack on. If you can't see that they are using psychological warfare and putting these degenerate rappers in place to make you think that that's hip hop. Well, it raps and it's selling records. It's on the Billboard charts because Charlemagne decided to interview him and Angela Yee on their show. Therefore, it must be hip hop, right? It must be hip hop, because why else is it not on Charlemagne's show, right? It wouldn't be on the Breakfast Club if it wasn't hip hop. Yo, I'm trying to tell you. How's a nicer way of putting this? These are niggas in disguises. Niggas in disguises. That's what this is, man. That's what this is. This could be a federal agent who's just pretending to cosplay as an LGBT, you know what I'm saying, alphabet gang rapper. But really low key, dude is a federal agent just playing a character. He might be gay. He might be gay. He might be one of the gay federal agents. One of the gay federal agents that's putting on a wig and they say, hey, you know what? We're going to have you be a rapper. Don't worry. You're already going to be connected because we're going to put you in with Diddy. Diddy's already down with us too, by the way. So we're going to put you in with Diddy. That's how you're going to get known. We're going to put you on a bunch of podcasts that are very popular, radio shows, put you within the media. We're going to have you do your little press tour, and you're just going to go out there and you're just going to infiltrate and corrupt the minds of young black children across the nation. How does that sound? And we'll also pay you millions of dollars to do it. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Anybody who defends this is also working with the agency.
Too. I don't want to throw shade on nobody else's situation, but somebody else is in the headline for, you know, that little me gauge. And I'm like, that just has never been my character. But at the same time, you can't. I ain't finna beat y'all hoes in the head about something that y'all want to make y'all mind up to believe. And also, I think people forget that even though I live stream, I'm a celebrity, so I answer these questions on lip service.
Okay.
I don't gotta prop up my phone and answer no shit for y'all because y'all feel like you ain't gonna address it. Yeah, when it's time. I'm on a press run right now, babe.
Okay, period.
That part.
So let's address it.
I don't want to focus on clips that people have. I want to focus on action.
Okay.
This is a video in real time.
Dude got a BBL with a beard. Nobody's going to ask the question of, do you have a mental issue?
You heard the little boy, he said, damn, that shit fat.
Yeah.
Wow. Woo! Man, I gotta tell you, we might be in trouble, y'all. We might be a little bit in trouble, y'all. I gotta tell you. I mean, well, those of us that are intelligent, that at least are using an average amount of their IQ, can see this. And the other interesting thing about this is that he acts so much like a woman in the sense of not taking any accountability. But let's see if these other birds in the room will hopefully have accountability for him, which I doubt.
Oh,
And
okay.
now listen to what I said.
Oh,
No, go back to the beginning. I don't even want to miss this.
okay. We got to hear one.
Yo, it's almost like I thought I was looking at 4 women, but technically it's really only 3 and 1 dude dressed as a woman.
Time. Let me be quiet on the creek. Yeah, you're watching. Yeah, you should watch your mouth. You too fucking young. Right.
Some of the YNs outside. Damn, that shit fat.
Mm-hmm.
What you say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. First of all, watch your mouth, and you too motherfucking young for that.
Mm-hmm.
When have I ever gave kids, cut the teeth, any type of thing? That's action. That ain't no clip. That's in real time. A kid to me, 14, 15, 16, whatever the fuck, see me walking outside the public in a dress and you like, oh, that shit fat. That's not cool. That's not okay. Listen, you way out of your league, son. Don't play with me. Don't even just let me like.
This is really disturbing. And the fact that Angela Yee is just sitting there like, okay, yeah, right. This is why she should have stayed with the Breakfast Club. But I mean, actually, I don't know if she should have stayed with the Breakfast Club because, I mean, Charlamagne's doing the same stupid shit. But I will say that that's probably why her show is not doing as well, is because there's no accountability. There's no realism here. And it's all just stupid.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's
yes.
That's how I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
I got goddaughters. I got nieces and nephews, and that I'm helping raise.
Mm-hmm.
That's watching me. I got
Helping raise. Yo, I gotta say, if you got this man around your children, you're a freaking idiot. This dude has all the characteristics of a PDF and some kind of mentally unstable individual. He just happens to be part of the Diddy machine and down with homegirl from whatever that song was, which is also about degeneracy in the black neighborhood, in the black communities. So, whoever would decide to have this man around their children is tripping.
I got nephews that I'm teaching. Hey, me and your daddy both men. We might be 2 different men. Your daddy might be one way. I might be this way, but you still gonna have respect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like when it comes to that, it's kind of actually fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
There's no way you'll
But
get
at
respect.
the same time, it's like I know how the internet is, and it's like
You do not get respect as a man dressing.
It's an agenda.
Yeah.
Because I knew that would have upset you at that time when that was going viral and you haven't spoken on it yet. So I appreciate you for clearing it up here.
The fact that he was mad that a little boy, black boy too at that, said that his booty was fat. That's just so gay and so troubling and so degenerate and so scary.
And we wanted to give you the space to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because we've never heard nothing about Saucy.
Right.
never,
No,
and you never
yeah.
will. And I'm just like, it's so crazy that the internet always wait till you being champion or you having a hit.
You have to
Because,
back up
like,
shit.
oh, you see what he said, and now y'all trying to entangle it with the song's demonic and this and the third, and it's like that's never the case. But what I want people to know.
Okay, thankfully that is over.
No, other recent thing that went viral
Let's
again.
just make sure, because I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this other clip.
Okay.
All right.
So you plan to
on number 45 on hip hop R&B Billboard.
Stop saying that, man. Stop saying that this dude is on the hip hop R&B Billboard charts, man. We need to stop saying that. Us as a community should come together to say that this trash is not hip hop. It's like, when do we take a stand, hip hop? When? Are we going to allow this degeneracy to just keep going on? It really baffles me, man. It really drives me crazy that we will sit back and allow this degeneracy to continue. And we allow people to say, oh yeah, okay, let's call it hip hop, because others out there were calling it hip hop because the radio station said that it was hip hop, because Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club said that it was hip hop. So let's go ahead and call this hip hop. Can we stop doing that? When, as a community, do we? And I bet you $20, the people who are streaming this music, if it ain't children that don't know better, they just doing it for shock value. It's like we said, man, this is like another 6ix9ine. This is a shock value rapper. And I'm willing to bet that some of these streams are botted. They ain't even real streams, yo.
I want to feel like we finna take this from him. We finna strip him from this. But y'all don't know that this ain't luck. This is timing and this is purpose. And this is what God had destined for Saucy Santana. I got me another hit. Number 40.
All right, we out of here. Let's move on to a different subject here. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. I didn't want to bore y'all with that. It was just we had to speak. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like there's an issue where some people Dave Chappelle getting mad after the sound was abruptly cut during the Fugees' performance at the recent festival in England. So there's a lot going on here. Let's see what Dave Chappelle is talking about here. Current news. And did you see like Common and Mos Def and all them performing in London too? So I guess there's like a big thing going on in London right now. But yeah, Dave Chappelle.
I can't lie though, the show ended a bit mad and Uncle Dave was not happy. Uncle Dave, what's wrong?
Man, you're fucking up history. You turn off the mic on Martin Luther King, nigga. Let us close the show.
Close the show.
Who can I talk to? Please. It's a moment. Man, y'all fucked up. I'll never forget this. Man, y'all fucked up. Tell them whoever. It's a moment. Man, y'all fucked up. I'll never forget this. Man, y'all fucked up. Tell them whoever's in charge. Man, let us go.
I let them go.
Let us go.
Let them go.
Come on, man. Sir, who can I talk to? Who's in charge? Where are they?
I can't lie though, the show ended a bit mad and Uncle Dave was not happy. Uncle Dave, what's wrong?
Man, you're fucking up history. You turn off the mic on Martin Luther King, nigga. Let us close the show.
Close the show.
Who can I talk to? Please. It's a moment. Man, y'all fucked up. I'll never forget this. Man, y'all fucked up. Tell them whoever's in charge. Man, let us go.
I let them go.
Let us close.
Let them go.
Come on, man. Sir, who can I talk to? Who's in charge? Where are they?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying?
I can't lie though,
I'll say this. What Dave Chappelle is going through goes to show you that it doesn't matter how famous you are, that this is going to happen. But like some people are saying, yo, a curfew's a curfew. I will say this, though. They need to start getting rid of these stupid curfews and let people perform. if the crowd is rocking, the crowd is rocking. Like, let it happen. You know what I mean? They need to stop shutting it down because they do the same thing at Coachella and these other festivals and these other events. If they want to perform, just let them perform. You know what I'm saying? If it's rocking the crowd. And if the neighbors are upset and the neighbors are complaining and all this and that, well, then they need to move to a different city then. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe don't move next to a venue. And I know some people might say, well, maybe they built the venue after they moved there. Venues should start offering money to buy people's homes when they want to build new stadiums or something like that near where people stay at. But like I said, I mean, if you're aware of the fact that you are going to move, don't move next to a stadium and complain about music or loud noises. I don't get it. But I wish I could see the full performance of this. Looks like some more footage will probably come up later. But yeah, let's see what else we have going on in hip hop. And I'm about to jump on, take some calls in a minute. I wanted to just get this started first before we take any calls. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started real quick. Oh, did y'all hear, by the way, that Michelle Obama's got her new podcast and she's got Megan Thee Stallion on her show, and it's just such trash. It really is.
For probably like the first.
Pull it up right here. Let's pull it up.
Okay, so I'm from the south side of Houston. And for probably like the first 7-8 years of my life, my dad was in jail. And
nope, not that one. Let's see if it's this one. I mean, you know, okay, you got to talk about the history and upbringing. I'm trying to see what she's got to say about the rap. Did you hear what she said, that the Instagram is making it easier for trash rappers to become famous?
Okay, so I'm from the south side of Houston.
She said it's making it easier for trash rappers to become famous.
It's a persona that I feel like everybody has been acting like, oh, I want Tina Snow back. We need Tina Snow. I don't think she ever just actually left. I don't think she was never just not there. But I think giving her a proper rollout, a proper title, a reintroduction to hotties that may not have been with me since 2017, 2018. I think that this is like going to be a new experience for them. I think I'm just reintroducing my alter ego, Tina Snow. Like, Tina is grown now, babe. Like, she has been through lots of life since y'all heard from her last. And I have so many collaborations that I feel like
Yeah, we don't really need to hear that. Let's get into the Tupac.
Suit and tie to meet the group of people who will decide his fate. Davis admitted to his role in the murder on 2 occasions, including in his autobiography. In that book, he said he's the only living witness to the rapper Tupac Shakur's death here in Las Vegas 30 years ago, and that could land him in prison for the rest of his life. Today's jury selection went quickly, and they're very ahead of schedule in that regard, but at the end of the day in court, after the jury left the room, a surprise instruction from Clark.
Dude is just sitting there knowing that he fucked up. Like, Keefe just knows he messed up. And then I also heard that now he's going out here and he's speaking on the fact that he had that he didn't write the book, that the whole book is not true, and this and that. I don't know what they're going to say about the podcast. They're going to use, obviously, Vlad interviews against him. I got to tell you, man, you could just tell by his facial expression right here that he messed up. Stupid. I guess he thought that, you know, the internet was a safe place and that nobody was really going to take it seriously, or that whoever he was working with was happy that he did what he did, which is true. I mean, obviously they were. Obviously, because look at what's happening. Now, even TMZ went on to interview Suge Knight on this topic, right? And Suge Knight said that there are other people that are involved in this, but he never named any names, and he continues to not name any names. It's an interesting subject right here. Let me see what else we have here.
County District Judge Carly Kearney.
One issue, we do have some audience members attempting to communicate with jurors. You are not allowed to talk to them, wave to them, say anything to jurors, or you will be removed, and there could be further penalties. So please do not contact the jurors in any way. Thank you.
The fact that she's the judge and she looks like she wasn't even probably around when Tupac was rapping is already a red flag for Keefe. It's all like you're already in trouble, dude. And I also heard that this guy has a public pretender. Like he doesn't even have real legal defense on him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, dude, you're probably done. You're probably done. You're the fall guy. You're gonna take the fall, and that's that.
Or do not talk to the jurors in any way while they're in the courtroom. Thank you.
So the judge, not mincing words, that sort of came out of nowhere. The room was full of media and only a couple members of the public. We haven't even begun the trial, and it's already shaping up to be filled with drama.
And Kyle, we know Suge Knight is on the state's witness list. He founded Death Row Records. He's in prison right now. Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, gets mentioned a lot in the backstory to this murder. He's also in prison. Do you think we're going to hear from him?
No. In a memorable moment, a juror actually asked the prosecutor that during the jury selection, and the prosecutor said no. But his presence has loomed large all week, and as you say, in the last 30 years. And Suge Knight has reportedly said if he gets hauled in from prison to testify, the side that calls him, prosecution and defense, will end up regretting it. Vanessa?
If we see him, that will certainly be interesting. Kyle, thank you. Now, the trial is expected to last at least a month. Davis told me he wasn't in Nevada at the time.
They don't need it to go or to have Suge and them testify because basically they already know that this case is over with and it's a slam dunk and that he's probably going to do some time. I wouldn't even be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I think he's done. I think he's cooked, as they say. You know what I mean?
Years after Tupac Shakur was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip, the only man ever charged with his murder is finally going to trial. Jury selection began today for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, with about 75 potential jurors called to court. Now, the process could take several days, and once the jury is seated, this trial could reportedly last as long as 5 weeks. Keefe D. is charged with murder with a deadly weapon. And to be clear, prosecutors don't claim he actually pulled the trigger. No, they say he was the shot caller, that he orchestrated it, that he was the one who helped put this whole deadly ambush in motion. And if convicted...
Why are we discussing this today? Is it because he did all of these interviews and these podcasts, and then the city of Vegas, I think, was just like, hey, you got to get him for something?
He could spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. But here's what makes this case so extraordinary. Some of the most allegedly damning evidence against Keefe D. may have come from Keefe D. himself. 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend. He apparently described being inside the white Cadillac, writing that, quote, one of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock. In a 2008 recorded interview with investigators, he apparently described his nephew Orlando Anderson saying he leaned over, rolled down the window, and popped him. 2018 BET interview, Keefe D. said, when he pulled up, I was in the front seat. Now, the defense argues these stories were exaggerated, that they were fabricated, that they were all designed to sell books and get attention. They've even questioned whether Keefe D. actually wrote the book. See, the problem with that is he once allegedly admitted he was the author in a jailhouse call. Okay, not great for the defense, but is all this bad enough to convict him? Because reportedly, no murder weapon, no car, no surveillance footage of the actual shooting in question. Are you going to have direct eyewitnesses? Maybe. I want to bring in somebody with a very unique perspective on this case. That's Robert Draskevich, Dwayne Keefe Davis's former attorney who withdrew from the case in March. Thanks for taking the time. That jailhouse call, problematic?
It is somewhat. But it won't be the first time that a man has lied to a woman. This is a jail phone call, and oftentimes people exaggerate, make up stories, and try and explain the reason why they find themselves in that certain set of circumstances. But obviously, a jury is going to take that into consideration, and that does create a problem for the defense.
Now, you know, it's interesting. I cover a lot of cases, and I hear sometimes people who say things in jail. You could say, listen, rough environment. Maybe they're just saying whatever they need to say to, protect themselves. Like you said, maybe you said whatever he said for a woman. But the multitude of apparent admissions, the argument would be this was all exaggerated, this was all to sell books, this was all to get notoriety. Is the frequency of it going to be too much for a jury?
That's a good question. You've already laid out the profit motive. Keefe Day made a lot of money making these admissions. There was a book published. He's made multiple appearances on TV, and he's been paid nearly every time that he's made these statements. I would anticipate the jury relying upon the evidence, and you've pointed out that there's a lack of hard evidence connecting him to this crime.
Well, is there? I mean, other than the alleged admissions, what is the hard evidence against them? I was interviewing Alexandra Kazarian the other day. She said she doesn't see much. You once said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you described the evidence in this case as voluminous. What else will the prosecution present against him besides his apparent statements?
During the time that I was representing him, I kept expecting there to be a new witness, some surprise development. The discovery in this case was voluminous. I mean, we've got 364 gigabytes of discovery, well over 20,000 pages. Throughout my review of that evidence, there was nothing putting him there in the car other than his own words. I'm unaware of a single.
Yeah, he's done.
Single eyewitness that will put him in the car. In fact, I saw in a recent interview, a jail interview, where he's saying that he wasn't even in Las Vegas at the time of the shooting.
But if they can prove that he was there, and they couple it with that interview, which can, by all accounts, probably used against them, that I have to imagine that could be problematic. What about the idea of any gang associations, any gang associates testifying and what his role was, or placing him in Las Vegas, or talking about any beef that he had? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's the state's theory, that he is the shot caller. That's a common theme. But again, the jury's going to need facts. He has to be there, regardless of what he has said. We've talked previously about these ideas of
the jury does not need facts.
I mean, he's taking some poetic license with his tale. People have done it for decades to sell records. I don't really think this case is really any different, absent any real physical proof.
What about Suge Knight? Suge Knight's in prison right now. There's a question of whether or not he'd be called as a witness, whether he'd voluntarily testify. Do you think that he could be a key prosecution witness? Hey, maybe even a defense witness?
That we had discussed the possibility of calling him. He's currently serving a 28-year sentence in San Diego. I know that he has said repeatedly that he wants nothing to do with this case. In fact, I recall reading wherein he said that Orlando Anderson was not the shooter. But outside of that, time will tell, and we'll see through the course of this trial.
I'm going to ask you a very tricky question, because I know you're very limited to what you can say, but any chance Keefe D would take the stand? He said a lot. Will this be his opportunity to tell the jury his side of the story in a different way?
It wouldn't surprise me, perhaps, if he did. He likes to talk. He's a very likable gentleman. He's quite witty. Over and over again, he's wanted to tell his story in open court. If he testifies, it wouldn't surprise me.
And
speaking of other news, and we can come back to this later, Keefe D is basically an example of why you should just keep your mouth shut sometimes. But, I think that there's a bigger story going on here that's not being told. I personally think that there's other entities that were involved in this, and we know that there was a big conspiracy that was going on, especially those of us that remember the Pac and Biggie beef, and with Pac too. His case could be even stranger in a way. You know what I mean? Like if you really look at Pac, because with Pac, he was involved in a fight at the MGM, right? Was at the casino, and then this happened. So it kind of like there's kind of a backstory, right? But with Biggie, it's a weird situation. It's a weird situation because, first of all, he was in Los Angeles. He shouldn't even have been in LA. We all know that, right? And then he's at a party chilling. No fights happen. Everything seems to be going fine, at least at that part, for the party, right? You know, at that time, everything was going okay, right? But then, all of a sudden, this guy comes out of nowhere, knowing that Biggie was going to be there. Plenty of people who were there, who witnessed it, have gone up to say what happened. And yet, nothing went forward with the case. So I feel like Biggie's situation is even way more strange. But I think the Tupac situation, I think that there were a lot of, shall I say, loose ends, and that those loose ends needed to be tightened. And this man right here was the loose end that needed to be tightened, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm going to come back to this. Let's just hear how they closed it out real quick. In other news, we also have, speaking of people snitching on themselves, Dirk, who's getting ready to go to trial as well. And they are now saying that they will listen to his rap lyrics in court and use that against him. Yeah, they're going to use your raps. Another dumb rapper. This is why I say, be careful about what you rap about. I don't even understand.
Call me Smirky, then it's personal. She twerk for show, told me don't come fast, took a perky though. A nigga asked me who I killed before, like who you working for. Say my name for clout, but in them streets they ass gon' hurt you though. Told me they got an addy, go. Got location, go. Green light, go. Look on the news and see your son, you screaming no, no. And all them niggas hanging with him, if you know, you know. Okay. Call me Smirky, then it's
okay. So y'all thought this was dope?
your son, you screaming no, no. And all them niggas hanging with him, if you know, you know. Gang shit.
Yeah, they're about to use his lyrics against him. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you thought you was tough, man. Oh, you thought you was so hard, huh? You thought you was so tough. That's the point I'm trying to make, man. Is that these rappers out here, they need to stop acting like they're so tough and so bad about it. I wonder how tough he is now. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows, man? Like, look at what's going on here, man. They got these gay, obviously mentally challenged people, or whatever that is. Cause come on, man. Any man that does that to himself, and I'm talking about what was it? The saucy guy. Yeah, this dude right here. We got this that's being promoted into the mainstream of black entertainment, such as hip hop and rap. We got the Tupac situation going down, right? We got the Tupac, and now we got, what is it? Now we got the little Dirk. Oh yeah, we got that too. But now we got Dirk. And he's not the only one, man. I think the Pooh Shiesty and all the others are another one too. Yo, man. It's getting crazy out there, man. It's really getting crazy out here. I wanted to hear what their take was a little bit on this.
Trials. Bring me back to a little bit about your history with the Clark County District Attorney's Office.
Sure. I grew up here in Las Vegas. I started in the DA's office in 1987. For a long period of time,
No, we don't need to hear all this. Or
30 years goes by without...
Here, we'll skip this in just a second. If they're not getting to the point of saying anything that's important, then we'll just skip this video. It just looked like it might be really thorough and give us something that we're missing.
Suspect. You were away from the district attorney's office when the arrest came in 2023, but what was your reaction? How often does this even happen?
Well, there's no statute of limitations on murder, and so, we saw...
Why is his mic like that?
Solve cases, sometimes through DNA, but this was an unusual case because we solved it by Dwayne Keefe D. Davis writing a book and, to use his terms, telling on himself. Is to be dynamic.
So, rule number 1, if you're going to commit a crime, don't write a book about it. Or, shall we say, don't write a rap about it either. Yeah. Don't write a rap either about it. Man, sometimes I ask myself, like, what are these people thinking, man? Like, what were you thinking when you decided to write those raps about what you did? Like, did you think that you were that indestructible? I mean, maybe, but now this goes back to my point about what I said earlier, is that it's clear that there is a psychological war going on rap. And I think this is the part where we could start it, right? Yeah. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. It's clear that there's a psychological war that is going on rappers, and the people that listen to rap. As I mentioned earlier, we have rappers that are snitching on themselves. We have people who are, I guess the word, I was going to say KILL, but unalive, whatever you want to call it, rappers. And then we have rappers who are dressing up, male rappers who are dressing up as women. Look, and all of these things just occurred in just last week. You know what I mean? This is all happening within a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these events might have taken place a while back or some other time. But for the most part, these things have all just occurred within a week. Okay? So I want y'all to know that, man. Yeah. I want y'all to know that. Let's go ahead and play the one clip that we were playing about with the Tupac one more time. I'll get this set up.
You think there's a chance he'll be acquitted? And then I think because he's the only one that's ever going to trial, it seems.
And one would expect the jury to hear from him. Through the course of the grand jury, the prosecution read the book that you had referred to, Compton Street Legend. There's going to be a dispute as to whether or not that.
Thank you for the likes coming in, fam. Appreciate you.
His words. There's quotes. The Invisible Man. You read the book, and it's clearly not the way that Keefe D speaks.
As I mentioned before, if you do something, don't write a book about it. All right, let's go into the talk. Alfredo, you said you used to have more hope for hip hop, but too many newer talented. Or you mean the newer guys or the older guys? Thank you for the likes though coming in, man. I appreciate you, fam. Let me say this, man. You mean the newer talent or the old talent? Because you got the new talent that's coming in, and then you also got the old talent. But what I will say is this. Hip hop is no more. I agree, and that's what we were just talking about, man. Because if we look at all of the hip hop that's going on right now, as I was just saying earlier, for those of you that are jumping on right now, and make sure you don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you, guys. Yeah, man, if we look at what's going on right now, we have the Keefe D trial. We have the Lil Durk trial where they're going to use his own raps against him. And then we also have Suge Knight, who's behind bars, who made a good point about some of the things that are happening to him in his trial. It's very interesting, man. Oh, okay. I see who you're talking about. Yeah. I see who you're talking about. Those are some newer rappers mostly. Those are newer rappers. But yeah. I mean, I would even go back further than that, man. Like a lot of those rappers that you mentioned were all after mid 2000. You know what I'm saying? Stokes, what up, my boy? You said hip hop is forever. Hip hop will never. Yeah, I agree with that theory too, as we've all had said before. I agree with that too. Hip hop is always here, but a lot of the mainstream rappers that are getting pushed right now is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, yo. Shout out Migo for the hearts, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the go. Appreciate you, fam. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? And thank you, Khaled, for the like. I appreciate you. Yeah. Yo, like I said, man, we have the trial of Keefe D. We have the trial of what's it called? Lil Durk having the lyrics used against him. You know what I mean? This is just, and then also, did you see the Breakfast Club today with the Saucy Santana interview? You got a man straight up wearing a dress, wearing a wig with a dress, with his lead press on nails, saying all of this and that. I'm like, yo, man, it's getting pretty crazy. You said, Alfredo, you said you felt like the early 2010s is when hip hop really started going downhill. 2010? For sure. I'd say even a little bit before that, but you're probably right about that. 2010 was when we started to see a surge of degenerate rappers. Yes, Migo, my man. What's up? I appreciate you, fam. Thank you. Definitely, fam. Yeah, I agree. 2010. As a matter of fact, that's an interesting year. I mean, I know that was almost around the time that we had Kendrick and Drake come out. You know, they came out like around that time. But you're right. Overall, probably a lot of the rappers that came out, and if I just search that real quick. Rappers in 2010. Let's see who the rappers were. Yeah. Well, yeah. Future, Travis Scott, Chief Keef. Now, I don't know if they came out around that time. But, like, yeah, Young Thug. Just like you're right, man. A lot of mumble rappers, right? Like there was some dope stuff still happening, but like 2013 on everything just became auto-tune. After they called auto-tune melodic people rappers, I knew it was over. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you too, Koa. Shout out. Yeah. The culture of hip hop needs to be revived. The music is doing just fine. It's only 50 years old. True that, man. True that. 50 plus, actually. We just had the anniversary 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? Yeah, about 2 days ago. We just had the anniversary. So, yeah, man. The Keefy D situation looking pretty crazy, man. And the Little Durk announcement that just came out today really made me think again. How stupid could somebody be, man, to just go and rap lyrics about themselves like that, man? Everyone basically just copies Drake and Future, or at this point. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Cesar Face is dope. Run the Jewels is dope. And PROF, who's that in your current rotation? The lyrics need to return, not the pop stuff. Absolutely. Cube, M, and a few others still keeping it real. Modern hip hop, not great with only a few exceptions. Wait, what'd you say? Modern hip hop, not great, but with only a few exceptions. They're doing it for entertainment. The thing is, the most people think entertainment is reality. Exactly. That goes back to the point that somebody made about what's it called? Somebody made that point about, what was it? Oh yeah, I think it was you, Kelly D, when we were talking yesterday. You made a point about the characters. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about the Saucy Santana dude. I said that this dude has got to be playing a character to the point to where it's like, again, it goes back to the shock value rap. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't know when this happened or when we started doing this. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for the clap. Appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Dave East doesn't get enough credit. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Hold on, let me fix my light real quick. Yeah, I agree with you on that Dave East doesn't get enough credit. What about, let me see. There's a huge lack of balance now. At least early 2000s, it was a little better. Yes and no. It was a little bit better, but not really. Appreciate you, fam. Newer rappers don't really impress me anymore. Kendrick and Cole were some of the last ones to me. Yeah, man, I could see that, man. Whole lot of Red still better than Illmatic. Was that oh, that's a troll. Okay. Justin says it fell off so hard, man. Yeah. I agree. Nas told y'all, yeah, and you didn't believe it. I believed it. Hey, yo, I believed it before Nas had said that, because when Nas had said that, hip hop was already falling off, and that's the reason why he went up there and he said that shit, was because he knew that like hip hop is done, y'all. Like it's no more. Yeah, Playboi Carti don't even make music. I agree, man. Playboi Carti has fallen off completely. Playboi Carti is just trash, like never before trash. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't even consider that real music. That's just a whole bunch of melodies and a whole bunch of sounds and a whole bunch of frequencies. You know, I'll give it to him on the fact that maybe he knows how to put frequencies together. I'll give him that. But as far as everything else, trash. You said, what do I think about Ransom? Ransom's pretty dope. Only selling the culture is what hip hop is today. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Playboy Cardi pop music just means popular music. I wouldn't consider him hip hop. Yeah, I wouldn't consider him hip hop. And you know who else I wouldn't consider hip hop? Is this fool right here on my screen. Saucy Santana, man. Like, I'm even ashamed that I even know his name, yo. Like I said, if y'all haven't seen the clip from the Breakfast Club today, for research purposes, I mean, I wouldn't want to say like, hey, you got to go watch that shit. But for research purposes, hold on. You might need to watch that. Yeah. For research purposes, you might need to go and watch the Saucy Santana interview, because like I said, man, I have no idea how Charlamagne could do that interview with the straight face. Let me see if I can play this one. Homeboy said G-Eazy is carrying though. Yo, man, I haven't heard G-Eazy put out a song in like 3 years. Playboy Cardi is the Nas of this generation. Stop, dude. Stop. Stop. Please stop, man. Stop, yo. Stop. You're trolling. You're trolling so hard. You're trolling so hard, man. Thank you though. Thank you for the laugh though. I needed a laugh on this stream. I was taking everything too seriously. So, thank you. Thank you for that laugh. I needed that. FKL Al. Silk says it fell off. Yeah. Yeah, well, the disrespect is real. No, Homeboy's a fan. Well, maybe a fan, but he's also a troll. He's a troll. Like, yeah, it go Playboy Cardi MJ. Yeah, we know you're trolling. You're just trolling now. Cardi fans are the hardest copers of all time, bro. Yeah, I agree, man, because trust me, I deal with them on the stream every day. There is no new Nas, just like all jokes aside, there is no new Nas, and there hasn't been and probably never will be, or maybe, but, you know, Joey Badass might have been the closest that kind of came to that, but not sure what really happened with him in his career. I mean, I think he even went on to say that he kind of got blackballed by the industry. Troy L is the man. Okay. Yeah, you were joking about the MJ. Yeah, you're right about that, man. But you're probably joking about the Nas too, because Playboy Cardi still to this day does not have a classic album. He does not have a certified classic album, like where a lot of people across the spectrum will say that his album is one of the greatest albums of all time. And if you say The Whole Lotta Red is his best album, then okay, so be it. But yeah, D says nah, it'll never happen. I mean, we'll see. We got some people that are kind of rapping. Yeah. Joey Badass definitely should have became bigger than what he is, man. You know, and you got some others that are out there too. Conway the Machine is starting to come up. Joey Badass went underground as far as music is concerned. He's the mainstream actor now. Well, yeah, I mean, wasn't he doing the Woo with the Woo series with Dave East? But I think Tyler the Creator is one of the best artists today artistically. That's fair. That's fair. But like I said, man, we can see, and this is what I was saying earlier about these rappers being dumb. We can clearly see that there's an attack on hip hop and hip hop culture. I don't know if you guys see that, and that's what we're talking about today, man, is the attack on hip hop culture. Let me put my gunshot for those of you that can't hear it. Yeah, man, there's an attack on the hip hop culture, which is clearly obvious. Like I said, in just this week, we have the Keefe D, we have with the Tupac case, we have the Lil Durk having his lyrics used against him, and then we also have Saucy Santana dressed up as a woman being a man with a beard and a BBL. Let's go ahead and play the verse.
Call me Schmirky, then it's personal. though. She twerk for sure, told me don't come fast, took a perky though. A nigga asked me who I killed before, like who you working for. Say my name for clout, but in them streets they ass gon' hurt you though. Told me they got a addy, go. Got location, go. Green light, go. Go, go. Look on the news and see your son, you screaming no, no. And all them niggas hanging with him, if you know, you know. Gang.
Yep, that song's gonna ruin him in court. That song is definitely going to ruin him in court. He's done. He might be done.
Taking it right there. They leave me no choice.
He might be done. You said Playboy Cardi, Kanye, Kendrick is better. Hip hop is hurting because a lot of new kids. Okay, just kick back, waiting on Jay-Z in London because he showed his out in the U.S. Oh yeah, he definitely did, Donnie. He did. Did you see that Dave Chappelle just recently was tripping out there in England that they cut his set? They cut the Fuji set down. We got Cardi, Unk. I ain't no Unk, but you said Unk. We got Cardi. We fine. Yo, we are in the golden era of East Coast boom bap. Tank made out of Lincoln. How is that? New here? Yo. Stream smooth. Is the stream smooth on your end? Can you guys hear me okay? Just making sure you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, thank you for the likes. Make sure you guys share this because we're talking about real hip hop right here. Something that is lacking on a lot of these TikToks that I see here and a lot of these YouTubers. Hip hop and gangster rap are not the same. The CIA funds gangster rap. Yeah, I believe you, Christian. Thank you for the likes coming in. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate you. It fell off since 2007 for real. I'm being honest. When 50 and Kanye battled. Yeah, that's a good point. I agree with you, Kovam. I agree. Ren is the most talented artist out there. More than just a rapper. Okay. DJ Prodigy says it definitely fell off. Kendrick definitely exposed Drake for not being real hip hop, but people want to deny it still. Tank says you can name 20 MCs that can freestyle and probably 5 or 6 that make their own beats. Absolute titans of rap. Okay, name 5 of them. You don't need to name 20. Just name 5. Tupac was an actor. We done with the 90s. Jay and Nas is overrated. And I don't know, man. I was just listening to the song that made Nas famous, and I was like, he was definitely ahead of his time. Yeah, Donnie, you said you saw that. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty intense. And I hope you guys are following the channel, by the way, following beatGrade. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we do, man. We have these real talks out here. K-Mo San, thank you, man, for the follow, and thank you for the lightning bolt, man. I appreciate you, fam. K-Mo Shine or Kemo Shine, thank you, man, for the freestyle and the lightning bolt. Really appreciate you. And that's just Griselda, Alchemist. Like when people say Drake is on a level of Michael Jackson or Tupac, I don't see it. Yeah, and he also didn't sell as many physical copies. People got to understand it was a different time. I talk rap, you said it fell off. Nobody's denying anything about Drake. One of the ones of the stands. Yeah, I agree with that. Y'all unks just behave. No, man, it's because Playboy Cardi hasn't done anything memorable. That's what I try to say, man. Don't get mad at me. Yo, your generation is writing the movies. And which music do you guys choose to portray in your films? You choose to portray the golden era. That's what you put in the movies. That's what you want to see in the Marvel movies. You want to hear some golden era hip hop. You know why? Because golden era hip hop will never play out. That is the reason why, man. It will never play out. He made a very influential album, but he's extremely overrated. Bryce Dunn. Who are we talking about here? Who's extremely overrated? We're talking about a lot of rappers here right now, or a lot of people are throwing a lot of rappers in the comment section. So, you know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. Yeah, Cardi. Okay, so, yeah, he's extremely overrated. Dude can't even rap on beat. I mean, it's like, can we at least get a rapper that can rap on beat? Commotion or Q motion? Not sure. I would have to say commotion. But yeah, man. Why let me ask you this question. Why do you keep comparing Cardi to Nas? Nas is not the only rapper that was really dope if you're trying to look for like a 90s golden era rapper. I mean, he definitely was one of the best, but he's not the only one. It's like, why do you keep trying to compare Nas? I enjoy his music though, but he ain't a good rapper. No, he's not. But hip hop, due to so many more independent outlets. Yeah, that could be true. Because Nas and Jay is overrated. What are you talking about, dude? Jay got like 3 classics. Jay got 3 certified classics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jay-Z got like 3 certified classics. How we feel about Jid or Yellow Wolf? I would say Jid over Yellow Wolf. I like Yellow Wolf, but I like Jid too. But I think Jid is a better rapper, though. My personal opinion. Reasonable Doubt. Is that the one that Jay got? Vince said Jay got 1 classic. Which one is that? Is it Reasonable Doubt? I think Reasonable Doubt is definitely a classic. Blueprint and the Black Album. That's what everybody always says. The Blueprint. I mean, I got the Blueprint right here on the wall, so you know. I got the Blueprint right here on the wall. Yeah, a lot of people say that Blueprint 3 is underrated. I agree. I agree with y'all. Blueprint 3 is definitely underrated. No doubt about that. Let's pull it up real quick. But if we're talking about classics, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're talking about classics, then I think the first Blueprint is Jay-Z's best album for sure. But you know, like a rated classic from Jay-Z is kind of the 444. As I pull it up right here, like the 444 is kind of a low-key classic. Blueprint 3 was ahead of its time. It holds up well. Yes, it does. Younger audience feel like Jay-Z is out of touch because they didn't see him on the come up. Exactly. I agree 100%. Most of these people weren't even outside when Jay-Z was dropping these projects. Kanye is an amazing artist, but is not a better rapper than Jay-Z. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Even though I will say that I think that Kanye was holding his own on Watch the Throne, but I also feel that Jay-Z overall is a better rapper than Kanye. Kanye's more of like a producer. He's more like a producer rapper. Like he knows how to make beats and he knows how to rap to the beats that he makes. Can he, like all that singing that he does, all that stuff that he's doing on the new album, and all that stuff, like crying in his cry singing voice on with his auto-tune, I don't know if that would sound good on other beats. It only sounds good on the beats that he does. Yeah, his new beats have been mid. I think his old beats are phenomenal though. Like Graduation, that's another album I got to put on the wall. Is Graduation. I don't think Graduation is mid at all. The beats on Graduation are phenomenal. Kanye is leagues ahead of Jay-Z in literally everything. Well, I will tell you this, man. Kanye is definitely better than Playboy Cardi. That's for sure. Donnie says, you love this group. I'm subscribing. Thank you, Donnie. Yes, please follow the channel. I talk about hip-hop all the time, almost every single day. I definitely will this week because I got to catch up on work. So thank you for the follow, Donnie. I really appreciate you. Pablo is underrated. I think he got rated fair for Pablo. I think Pablo rated him cool. Sci-Hi wrote all of Ye Watch the Throne verses. That makes sense. That definitely, thank you, cuz. Thank you, cuz. Yeah, man. Because they definitely do sound like Sci-Hi verses now that I think about it. And Sci-Hi is one of my favorite rappers too, low-key. Underrated rapper. Sci-Hi definitely is. Kanye is more of an entertaining personality. Yeah, I agree, man. late to this, but Reasonable Doubt is a masterpiece. Ye is more talented musician, but not a rapper. I agree. Late Registration, his best and my favorite. I feel like all three of those first three albums were a great run from Kanye. Yeah, I agree with you too, Bryson. I think Graduation is my favorite. This is some hating ass shit. Kanye is better than Jay at everything. Nah, I don't think so. Thank you again, Donnie, for the subscription. I appreciate you. Oh, you know what? I think something might have gotten turned off. Let me see. You should be able to join as a guest. Let me see what it's doing. Man on the Moon is just as good as Kanye's best. Sci-Hi is super nice lyrically. Y'all share this valuable information. Exactly. That's what I do. What are your thoughts on Vince Staples? Best active artist to me right now. Super consistent. I like Vince Staples. I think he's cool. Is he like one of my favorite underground rappers? Not really, but I think he is. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, man. We just talking trash anyways. I wasn't really taking guests right this second anyway, so it's all good. I'm not sure why they doing that. You might need to send a message to TikTok, but you know how these things are. You know how these things are. I deal with the same issues too sometimes, man. Sometimes I get blocked out of an account. Sometimes I get logged in or logged out of an account. It's weird how these things go, man. They just change things as they go, you know. Juggaloo, what's good? What's good, fam? Thanks for joining. Appreciate you, fam. You said, I think Jid is the best active artist right now. I will have to go back and listen, man. Clip's best album, I think, is the first one. Donnie says you hate that Jay wasn't able to bring out Kanye in New York. Kanye, that's on you, bruh. Thank you for the heart, man. I appreciate you. Q Mo Shine. Yeah, man. Yeah, the latest Clips album was pretty dope too. You're right, it was pretty dope. But what I will say though is that, yeah, man, well, Kanye, yeah, he messed it up with Jay-Z. He messed that up. He messed it up with Jay-Z when he went on Twitter and he started tweeting about his kids and started saying all this and saying all that. Now, maybe they can make it up before the end of the tour, because I know he's doing Europe, he's doing England, and then he's coming to LA. So it would be dope if he brought out Kanye for the LA show. Doubt it though, man. Doubt it. But yeah, you're right. If he could bring out Kanye to do Watch the Throne, that would be really dope. Now there's talks. The Roots a top 5 rap group. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Vince. Now, what's it called? There's talk that Jay-Z might bring out Kendrick Lamar for his LA show. Yo, so if he brings out Kendrick Lamar for his LA show, that would be pretty big. That would be pretty big. Now, I don't know if that's true. It's just a rumor from what I've heard right now. But if he were, because, you know, check it out. Check it out. Kendrick has beef with Drake, as we all know. And now Jay-Z is beefing with Drake, right? So it kind of does make sense. But you're right. If he were to bring, and keep in mind, everybody that's jumping on the Jay-Z shows have been pretty much everybody who performed at the Super Bowl, which we know that Jay-Z is the one who makes the decision about who performs at the halftime show, right? So if you look back at a lot of the rappers that came to his New York show, like Rihanna, well, she's not a rapper, but Rihanna, who else? Usher, who also is a singer, but then he brought out some other people too. These are all people who performed at the Super Bowl. So, I mean, it was dope that he brought out Nas, though. That was really dope. So, of course, it would be great if he were to bring out Kendrick Lamar. That would be crazy, man. It would make sense because Kendrick did the Super Bowl. So why wouldn't Kendrick owe that favor to Jay-Z? let's also not forget another fact, y'all, that Kendrick shouted out Jay-Z and Pusha, who both beefed with Drake at the Grammys when he won his Grammy Award. Let's not forget that. What's my favorite Kendrick project? Good Kid, Mad City, for sure. For sure. Good Kid, Mad City. Yep, I was just about to say that. You heard it here with beatGrade. That's right. That's right. Shout out Donnie. I appreciate you. Yeah, I heard that right now, man. And I'm looking up. Let me just fact something real quick. But nah, I appreciate you. You heard it here with beatGrade. That's what I do, man. I do the news. Check out some of the content. I'll be dropping it first. You know what I'm saying? And I think they do have a song together. Yeah, Jay-Z is featured on the remix of Kendrick Lamar's Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Remember that? Jay-Z's on the... Now, what if Jay-Z does, when he does LA, he brings out Kendrick Lamar to do the remix of Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe? Did y'all forget? Yeah, Fire Verse. Did y'all forget that Jay-Z was on the remix? DJ Marty Mars says that Jay-Z S-H-I-T all over Kendrick. Are you talking about on that verse? You said you're 34. What's your thoughts on your music taste in hip-hop history? Donnie says, oh my God, yes, remix is better. Yeah, I agree, man, Vince. I think the remix is better. I think it is better. Yeah. And I wanted to go back to what one of the comments said about the CIA dudes. And yo, yeah, Juggaloo, shout you out, man. I think the music sounds pretty good that you're doing, man. I'd like to hear some beats and some production. That would be dope. You know what I mean? I like DJ mixes that are dope. I like to hear like mixes where people mix a whole track, a whole like segment of tracks into each other. I like hearing that, not just songs remixed. But I like to also hear what these DJs can produce too as well. But yes, what were you saying though? To go back to the topic, I want to say this too. You said hip hop fell off. Well, Togath. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, that's why we do this show. Everybody has their opinion of did it fall off or did it not fall off, or that's up to you or up to them. But yes, man, if Jay-Z were to come out or have Kendrick come out and do the Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix, which is on the Good Kid, Mad City, my favorite album by Kendrick, for which some of y'all were asking, man, that would be dope. That would be dope. That would be so dope, man. And it would be much needed too. You know what I'm saying? DJ Marty Martin said you made 2 beats tonight. That's dope, man. That's probably what I'll do later tonight. Vince says you don't like the direction of where mainstream hip hop is going. Yeah, I certainly don't like it, especially the fact that I saw Saucy Santana, you know, do it with a BBL and a beard on the Breakfast Club today. Like, what was Charlemagne thinking? And the fact that Charlemagne could do that with a straight face, crazy, man. Too many egos. You said you're looking at the picture of Eric B. and Rakim. Yeah, great memories. Yes, Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full, one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. Like they said, again, to go back to the Nas point, there wouldn't be a Nas. There wouldn't be, Jay-Z. There wouldn't be a lot of these rappers for it weren't for Rakim. Shine Peace. Shining Peace says it's still on and popping. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, when you go listen to Nas's verse live at the barbecue, and you go back and you listen to his verse, you could definitely hear elements. And thank you for the likes coming in on YouTube, by the way. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys share this and like this, get it out there. When you hear his verse live at the barbecue, right? His verse is so dope on that. And to think that, I don't know how old he was. I think he was like 15 or 16 years old. The fact, see, this is where the one troll or the hater, wherever he was, if he's still on the stream, wherever the troll was that was on here, he doesn't understand that Nas was only 15 years old when he wrote that verse. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. But not Che. Enough talking. Let me get to tapping. Yeah, man. It's like Kenny says it definitely fell off. How so, Kenny? How so? It's like it's in punk era right now, like all crazy experimental and against the system. Yes, some of it. Some of it. I will listen to closed captions by Che. But you see, the difference with Nas and probably with Che is that, and thank you for the likes coming in, Donnie. I really appreciate you. It fell off after early 2000s. I agree with you on that, Kenny. You definitely are speaking the truth. That is one thing that we can definitely agree with, is that it fell off after early 2000s. Somewhere like after 50 Cent. 50 Cent was like, he was like the cutoff of it. You know what I mean? 50 was like, that was it. That's when the rap music changed. That's when it was no longer about lyrics and this and that. It was about getting money. Even though 50 Cent's first album is somewhat a classic in a way, that was the cuff. That was the turning point. That was when, you know, they call it the tipping point, the turning point. That was it, man. When 50 dropped that album, that is when we saw the change. But I really do believe that some of these rappers have been infiltrated by the government. I really do believe that, man. I really do believe, because there is no way that a man with a beard and a dress with fake nails on and fake breasts should be able to go on a radio show that made statements about kids, that made comments about kids and had kids in his new video, young black children. And this is what he's talking about. Had to speak on that truth real quick. I hope that TikTok doesn't get mad at this live. Donnie says, love your meaningful content, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here, Donnie. I speak the truth. What can I say? I speak the truth, and I feel like there needs to be more of this. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Yes. There needs to be more of this, because I hear too many podcasters or so-called podcasters or radio personalities that just speak on gossip or speak on the BS. But we need to have more talks like this that is real. Hip hop was a program and everyone fell for it. Are you talking about what they did to hip hop, or what hip hop had become? You can have good lyrics, but it cannot just go with the beat, I think is what you mean. The ladies are coming for the head top. Well, yeah, man. I mean, PMO to Matt Proxy, I heard of him, but I don't really listen to him. Yeah. It's getting weirder every day, Parker says. Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's definitely getting weirder every day. You want to talk about who's next to take over? It's absolutely going to be a woman. Well, I think it's already kind of happening with the women in rap. Hip-hop fell off and changed. I think it started after Tupac and Biggie. King Cooper says. Yeah, man, I could see that. I could see that. It's women out here spitting real bars with substance, with political consciousness. Like Rhapsody? I mean, I would probably say that Rhapsody is the only rapper out here that's a female. Maybe she's not the only one, but she's the only one that is kind of at the mainstream level of female rappers. Juan says Future is carrying it right now. Well, we know you joking. We know you're joking. Not with that last album that he just dropped. Not with that last album. Only genre to spin on English in the way it had. Or only genre to expand on English the way it has. Yeah, I could see that. Chicago rap is trash. Yeah, I also hear people saying that about Southern rap. A lot of people say that when rap went to the South, although I do like Outkast, but I do hear a lot of people saying that when rap went to the South, that's when it fell off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this dude said Future. I know. Trolling. We got some trolls up in here. You said if I think Rhapsody is the only one. I said at a mainstream level. I didn't say she was the only one. I said that Rhapsody is the only one that's doing it at a mainstream level. Hence, winning Grammys, accolades. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I don't think the other female rappers that you're going to mention have been winning Grammys. But that's what I'm saying. But yes, I do love Outkast as well. Like there's a few others from the South that I respect, like Bun B, 3 6 Mafia. I do respect some of those rappers, but a lot of these other rappers are just like no, man. And it's just a little too how do I say this without sounding homophobic? A little gay. It's a little gay. Like once a rapper wears a dress and paints his fingernails, I can no longer take them seriously anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy to say that I never can remember seeing Jay-Z or Nas in a dress. Just the thought of Nas wearing a dress is scary to me. It's frightening. That's frightening to me. I would probably I just don't even want to think about that, man. You said, oh, we live the same. Yeah, I appreciate that. Little Sims and Samara San are way better than Rhapsody. Yeah, they probably are better rappers. That's not the conversation that we're having. I don't know why you guys take it to a different topic. This is the reason why I like to just do these streams by myself now. I don't like to just have everybody jump up because you guys take it to a different angle. I never said who was the better rapper. I said which rapper is at a higher mainstream level. That's what I said. This rapper is at a mainstream higher rapper of a level. Rhapsody is at a higher level. In general, how have rap help or hurt more in America? I think at this point, I think that rap has hurting more of American culture. I think it's made more young black men, especially for Black America, I should say, and that goes back to the point that one of y'all made about the CIA controlling hip hop. I think that that's definitely what's going on here, and I'm going to say something that I think a lot of people don't mention. I'm just going to go off on my rant for a minute here. The one thing that people don't mention is that there's a program that was called the COINTELPRO, right? Where it was the CIA's initiative to infiltrate certain organizations and black organizations like the Black Panthers and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. The COINTELPRO. So it says when you Wikipedia these things, and thank you, Legend, for your comment. I appreciate you. Okay, we got some intelligent people in the chats. Thank you. All right. So you have the COINTELPRO. They said that this plan stopped, or this organization stopped running in the 1960s, right? But do you really think that it stopped right before the birth of hip hop? As a matter of fact, I believe it stopped in the early 70s, when is the time when hip hop, which we actually just had the anniversary, was formed. And when these black kids and some Latinos, yes, so 1971 is when they said it officially stopped, led by the FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover. Now we know that Hoover was a very strange individual who led the FBI, who also liked to cross-dress and dress like women. Nobody really likes to talk about that too much, right? The fact that the guy who had Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's phone tapped, that we allowed to run this organization, used to also cross-dress like a woman. Yeah, Hoover was a sus dude. Exactly. Now, my point is this, and thank you. I agree. My point is this. You say, why does that matter? Because we're talking about the COINTELPRO, and if you don't know about that, you should look it up. My point is that this program that was being ran in order to watch, trick, I'm looking at the definition right here. And let me pull it on this screen just so those of you can see it here. Was a secret series of projects from the government. Its goal was to watch, track, right? And thank you for the follow, Legend. I appreciate you. Let me make sure I pull this up correctly here, because I want to make sure people can see this. You see that right there? I know we got the chat going right there, but I'm just going to read it anyways. Its goal was to watch, trick, and break up American political and social groups that the government saw as a threat. Now, are y'all trying to tell me that there's a possibility that they didn't see hip hop as a threat? Are y'all really gonna believe that? Are y'all gonna really believe that there's a possibility that they did not see hip hop and real rappers as a threat? This brings me back to what I was saying earlier about the secret meeting that Crazy Bone has went on to talk about, that Ice Cube has also gone on to talk about. The secret meeting. The secret meeting meaning that we have people who run the record companies who also run the prison, the alcohol, and all these narcotics and all kinds of companies. And why not use this music to influence people to buy and purchase and consume? Monetize these people, right? And I'm glad you asked that question, Droga. You said if COINTEL is so real, then how is Kendrick dominating the rap game? Sounds like BS to me. I'm so glad you asked that question. You've come to the right place. Kendrick is not really dominating the industry. And let's also speak on this fact. The way Kendrick got to a point to dominate the industry was by taking another black man down. Let's not forget. How did Kendrick really rise to his level of superstar status, to another stratosphere? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like there's different levels to this. All right? You got different levels of fame. Kendrick reached a plateau of superstardom, fame, to becoming a household name, especially after the Super Bowl, the beef, and then the Super Bowl. Yes, Mr. Liv, I appreciate your comment. Kendrick is part of the Universal Music Group. Yes. So he's part of the same system that also allows the degeneracy of rap to continue. And let's not also forget that they heavily promoted this beef between Kendrick and Drake. UMG is Drake, Eminem, all the household names. Yes, you're right, including Taylor Swift. Let's also not forget that UMG does rock and pop too. K-pop. They're also behind the K-pop machine. And they're also behind Taylor Swift. let's not forget. Hold on. So one person had said on my stream before, which I think was really useful, is they said, what if Kendrick Lamar and Drake got together and formed an alliance and showed that black people can actually work together? Do you know how powerful that would be? So like I said to you, man, you come to the right place. Kendrick is part of that machine. Oh, because he's the conscious rapper, they may let it portray as that. And you know what? There was one dude on No Jumper, you know, that other podcast. It's kind of whack too, but every now and then they have some good takes. You know, it's like all these other people out there, but they don't really speak on the real. I'll say that Adam 22 might speak on the real more than Academics does. But one of the guests that was on No Jumper actually made a good point, where he said, how come Kendrick Lamar is the only conscious rapper from LA that's at that level, and when he did GNX, he didn't have any other conscious rappers from LA on his album? It was just a bunch of like gangster rappers, or, you know, like Lefty Gunplay and AZ Chisel and you know, these other Bloods and all that and stuff. Like, it wasn't like it was, and they all talking about gangbanging. It wasn't no rapper that was like conscious. I was like, interesting point. That's good food for thought. Why is it that Kendrick doesn't feature any other conscious rappers on his projects other than possibly J-Rock? But you see, him and J-Rock came up together, so I don't know if that really counts. I thought it was an interesting concept. Wasn't what I said, it's what they said. But I thought, interesting point. But like I said, when Kendrick got to his level of superstardom, and when he won his Grammys and he shouted out Jay-Z, right? He shouted out Jay-Z, and he shouted out all the people in the audience, and Dr. Dre and Lucien Grange, who's the chairman of Universal, is giving a high five to each other. That right there showed me that Kendrick Lamar is also part of the machine. Yes, like you said, man, it's all part of the agenda. It's all part of the program. It's all part of the machine. Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, the big three having this beef, all part of the agenda. And while I have this up here on the screen, the Wikipedia page, which is on the YouTube, which you guys can check out, you guys can jump back into TikTok or back and forth, but you know, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel so we make sure we get more people up in here. Because, yeah, man, like I said, if you guys let me go, I can go deep. I can go deep into this, man. You know what I'm saying? That I know that the average person cannot. Because you know why? Because I've been studying this for a very long time. I'm not just talking about this. See how homeboy tried to throw the Kendrick Lamar thing at me? And it was like, no, dude. For you to say that just shows that you don't understand the full agenda. Thank you, fam, for the likes coming in. Shout out Chinito Mafioso. I appreciate you, man. Welcome. Welcome in. You said thank you for putting Taylor Swift and K-pop in the same category. Yes, man. It's very similar. Not to mention that Taylor Swift and K-pop are both on Universal. Universal, like one of the homies said in the comment section, Universal controls all of the household names. It's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. We all know that Universal controls all of this. Okay? So, Universal, and y'all need to start understanding this, man. Y'all need to start understanding that Universal can control whoever becomes famous. Universal controls whoever they want to become famous. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just want to make sure I make this point very clear to y'all. They can decide. They can decide and say, hey, you know what? We can make this person famous. Now, if the person stays famous, that's another story. I'm going to take that off the screen because I don't want to, you know, cause too much drama. But yeah, like I said, man, Universal Music can decide who they want to make famous. And you know what happened, I think? I think that Drake, well, this is what happened. Kendrick and Drake go after each other. And it's like, we talk about this so much, man, that it's like, come on now. We've been talking about this for what, like 2-3 years now? How can we be wrong on this topic for now? Falling off. I don't know about who controls but heavily influences. Satori Zoom says, okay. I agree with you on that. Just going back through some of the comments. The underground absorbed hip hop and is now a thriving. What was it, Ant-Man, that you were trying to say? What was it that you were trying to say? Put it in the comments of what it is, Ant-Man, the point that you are trying to make here. Let us know in the comments. I'm going to tell you guys like this, man. If you can't tell by now that the powers that be are running this shit, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Like, I really don't know what to tell y'all. For real. It's like, it's obvious. And to go back to the Kendrick and Drake thing, this is what I think is what's happening, or what has happened. What I think is that these two black men, of course, had beef with each other, or have a beef with each other. I think they still have a beef, right? And I think Universal, them being both on the same label, them both being on UMG, and now just hear me out on this. Hear me out. Them both being on Universal, I think the label was just like, let him go. Let him go. Let's see what happens. Who cares? We're going to make money off of both of them anyways. This is why Drake dropped 3 albums. Y'all ain't doing your research. Y'all are not doing your research if you don't understand why Drake dropped 3 albums. People like the people that say, and I understand not everybody is going to understand this, man. Not everybody's going to understand this. Some people are going to be like, well, what do you mean? Like, why did he drop 3 albums? I get it. Not everybody is like a music nerd or all into the music business like that. I understand. But what I am telling y'all is this. Universal was like, hey, the 2 slaves want to fight. May the best slave win. And after that, we will reward the slave with lots of chicken and watermelon. This is how I see it. This is what I see. Okay? I see that they basically looked at it like, let him go. Kendrick obviously won the battle. Everybody that knows this will know this. Or everybody that studies this will know this. Now, of course, we'll have some delusional people out there, or you'll have people like academics out there who try to push a narrative. Dude is rocking an OVO chain. We already know which team he works for. Hip hop is not the same now. It's turned into crap rap. Yeah, I agree with you, D-Luck. Like Ben Shapiro said, even though I don't agree with Ben Shapiro, but is rap crap? Or he said rap is crap, but I was saying is rap, or is the current rap crap? Thank you, Mr. Live 305. That's right, host. I appreciate you, man. Crystal says, did hip hop fall off in what sense? Meaning, did it fall off in a sense of it being whack? Like, is it trash? That's what we mean. So I think Kendrick obviously won the battle, and Drake didn't like how Universal just threw him to the curb. Like, yeah, you know what? I think Drake was expecting more support from Universal. I think Drake was upset that Universal allowed Kendrick to come out with a song called Not Like Us and call him a PDF. Crystal says, oh, that makes so much sense. Thank you. I'm glad. Hopefully you're following, Crystal, or at least sharing this live or liking it so we get more people up in here. If you guys are agreeing with what I'm saying, make sure you double tap that screen. Doesn't cost y'all anything to double tap that screen. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like it, because that's what I do, man. I speak the truth on hip hop. Shout out Crystal for being new here. Well, welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you for liking the live. That's what helps the algorithm. Yeah, because, you know, like I said, man, I've been doing this for a long time now, and I used to work in the record industry. So I've already seen this hands-on before the internet. I've already seen it hands-on. Joseph, thank you or Joselle, thank you for the follow. You said, what's my take? I think, like some of the people are saying in the comments, I think hip-hop is still relevant, and I think there's still a lot of underground artists that are dope. I just think, unfortunately, the mainstream is pushing trash rappers. So what do I think about the albums that have dropped so far? What year are we talking about? D-Luck, now everyone sounds the same, pushes the same narrative and lacks creativity. And stop with the auto-tune. Yeah, I agree. This year, I like Drake's Iceman album. Thank you for the coins, Josel or Jose Lafante. Thank you for the coins. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, this year, I've liked the Iceman album that dropped. I felt that album was pretty dope. I like J. Cole's album. A$AP Rocky's album was it was like whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's about it. I wasn't really feeling Future's album. Might be a couple other people's albums. Drake's album was good in your opinion. It was very diverse. Yes, it was. I love all new underground rap so much, but I think it's gonna peak soon, and it worries me. David says. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate you for the agreement. And again, thank you for the roses, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like this, man. That Drake was expecting more backing from his label. They put out the Not Like Us. They probably expanded it, like what he was saying about the body. I think that there could be some truth to that, but I don't think that he's the only one that's happened to. You feel what I'm saying? I don't feel that he's the only one. You know what I mean? Everybody in the industry bots the stream. Russ has even gone up to say this. Russ has gone out there to say that people are botting the streams, or the labels are. Like, they'll probably take a song that's already hot, right? And they'll say, okay, you got a hot song, right? So now we can add a little bit more to it. So if it's already got like 1 million streams, they can do their little thing to increase the momentum. But I think he's like, yo, man, You guys just like let this dude do this to me, destroy it, like pretty much hurt his career. Didn't really destroy his career, but maybe somewhat, because even Joe Budden was talking trash about Drake today or the other day, which we'll go ahead and play that clip since we're on the subject. I think it'll be good timing for us to play that clip. But yeah, did K-Dot respond? Genuinely asking. No, I'm talking about the lawsuit that Drake did. I think the lawsuit that Drake did is kind of telling of what the industry is doing. And that's why Drake was like, you know what? All right, screw it. He just dropped his 3 albums. He owed 3 albums to the label. He probably was going to just drop the Iceman album. But then he said, all right, screw it. Whatever. Maid of Honor, Habibti. Here we go. Boom. I'm done with the contract. I'll go get a $1 billion deal somewhere else. That's basically what happened here. I think if rappers keep experimenting, it's going to stay exciting for years. Well, yeah, that, and I also think that we're headed towards a new genre, too. I feel like both lost, in my opinion, to be honest. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, remember when Drake sued Universal, Jose? That's what happened. Yeah, I feel like they both lost, in my opinion. I agree with you, Crystal. I agree with you 100%. Because what they did was tear each other down, and now Kendrick looks like this rapper who only got fame, like real fame, from taking down Drake, which might have needed to be done in a way. He definitely needed to be checked, but you don't want Kendrick's career to be based off of just that, because now we're talking about Not Like Us, which is not even Kendrick's best song. In my personal opinion, I don't even know if Not Like Us even belongs in a Kendrick top 10. I don't even know. I'd have to think about it. But I'll tell you right now, there's at least 5 just on Good Kid, Mad City alone. With Money Trees, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Swimming Pools, Mad City. I'm sure there's another one on there that I'm forgetting. What's the other one that I'm forgetting? There's one more. Excited for this rock and EDM inspired of rap with all of the new guys pushing EDM and rock. Yeah, that could be part of it. I mean, he's got a couple. Oh yeah, how could I forget the Poetic Justice featuring Drake? Sing About Me. Yeah, you got at least like 5. He got at least 5 or 6 just on Good Kid, Mad City alone. Then don't get me started on To Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't even think Not Like Us is his best song. But we could go ahead and put it up there for that. Yeah, man. I think that it's not a good look overall for Kendrick. I mean, what is done had to be done. I think the industry definitely exploited that battle. I think the industry also showed black on black crime with that battle. I think that the record industry and probably the government pushed this agenda to show that black people should not work together and that we should have beef, because it's like, look at all these unnecessary beefs that are happening in hip hop, right? I mean, y'all see that? All these unnecessary beefs that we have going on in rap music is just ridiculous, man. To the point to where it's like everybody's just beefing with everybody, man. And it's just like, yo, it's so dumb. It's so dumb, yo, that we have all of these beefs happening in hip hop all within the last week. Let's also mention, should we pull up the video about YG possibly is going to get charged for the case? I can't probably say everything on the stream, but he is now going to get charged for what happened. It's like, how many of these rappers are going to keep going to get incarcerated? They're going to have to keep going to court. how many of these people out here like Keefe are going to be writing books about this crap, and now they snitched on themselves. We got rappers snitching on each other. There is no rules in this anymore. There are no more rules in this, y'all. I remember that there was a time where we had rules to this. I don't know what homeboy was thinking to go and write a book. But, you know, yeah, we already covered that subject. We covered that subject, so I thank y'all for that. Yeah, man, the most part that we are saying, yeah, mentioning that he had a daughter and that. So you're talking about, you're talking about Meet the Grams. Thank you. Who wrote the book? We were talking about the Keefe D case, you know, with Tupac. The Keefe D case where with the Tupac thing. But this is the point that I want to make too. Because you know that's going to trial now this week. I believe they're getting ready to start the trial for the Keefe D and Tupac case, right? And he's going to take the fall. Would have been in his doorstep. Yeah, it's good. He's going to take the fall. Yeah, I think that with Drake and Kendrick beef, I think that Meet the Grams was the battle, or the song in the battle that destroyed Drake in a way. And then Not Like Us, and I said this on TMZ, and Not Like Us was the song that Kendrick did. It was like the celebration. It was like the victory dance. Like, yeah, boom, I knocked you out. Now he's doing his little dance over him after he knocked him out. That's exactly what it is, man. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it is. And that's what I'm saying, man. Point blank. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And then Universal, like I said again, was just like, hey, we gonna let these dudes duke it out. We gonna see what happens. Hey, we ain't got no point of this. And if you even look in the lawsuit too, where Universal responds to Drake, they kind of low-key dissed him. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of low-key dissed him on the response to him. They said, well, had Drake got back in the studio and worked harder and did this, then he probably wouldn't have suffered in this battle. I think when Drake read that was exactly the reason why he went and dropped the 3 albums. He was probably like, wait, what? You want me to go back to work? Dropping the 3 albums. We're done. We're done here. That's it. It's officially done. I think it was but now people don't listen to it. You think it was good at the moment, but now people don't listen to it. There's better Kendrick songs than Not Like Us. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. UMG knew Drake was going his own way. They would have done Eminem like this too, or anyone of their. No, I don't think they would have done Eminem like this, man. I think Eminem is their golden child. Eminem is the golden child of Universal. They're not going to let anything happen to him. Yo, they protect Eminem like the president. He is too much of a valuable commodity to them. Oh, you're saying if he would have left them. Yeah, exactly. But to speak on that theory real quick, Eminem is the golden child. He's the golden goose. Anything he touches turns to gold. So they're not going to let anything happen to him. I heard that people that call him, there's an interview with Joyner Lucas where he says this. You know what I mean? Jeep Geek says hip hop is done. Speak on it. Y'all in the comments, get at him. Tell us what's up. Yo, let me say this real quick. Let me say this. Yo, Eminem, I heard like people say that when you call him on the phone, that the line has to be cleared through security first to like make sure that like you're not on a recorded line, to make sure that no one's hacking the call. They're probably recording the line on their end. And then they say, okay, they patch him through. I think they did the same thing for Michael Jackson. and you know all these big celebrities. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it for Jay-Z. Anytime you talk to these people on the phone, they got to make sure that the line is clear first before you get through. So like talking to Eminem right now is like, it's like talking to the president. Just want to make sure I didn't miss nothing here. Yeah, talking to Eminem is like talking to the president, man. He's not going to let you through if he don't trust you. He ain't going to talk to you on the phone. You're not going to get through to his people. Like I said, this man is like seriously protected, dude. He is the Elvis Presley of rap. Straight up. Crystal said, can you say something about it? Old hip hop is pretty much not much of the old artists put out music. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think he will ever release another album. Jeep Geek says. Who won't ever release another album? Eminem? I don't know. I think Eminem, if you're talking about Eminem, I think he will release another album. You know what I'm saying? You say you don't think he will release another album. Who knows? He probably won't release another album for a while. I mean, I think Eminem is always going to be creating. I think rapping is definitely in his blood. It seems like it is. I don't think he would have been rapping this long if it isn't. So I think that he might drop something. You're right. Will he drop another album? Who knows? I think he'll definitely drop some features, though. I mean, he did just make an appearance with Jay-Z in New York. Speaking of the New York performance that some of y'all brought up. To go back to your comment, Crystal, about old hip-hop, his last album flopped so hard, of course not. Yeah, I don't think his last album... I thought his last album was pretty good. If he doesn't, it won't go anywhere. Rap is done. Yo, hip-hop is falling off because we don't have any black labels. Good point. A good point right there. We don't have any black labels again. Yeah, isn't it kind of interesting? And that's a good point. How all the black record companies... I mean, even though, you got Kendrick who's doing his independent thing. But again... Kendrick is signing like all these weird artists to his label. He's not really signing someone that's like him. Not that he needs to sign someone like him, but it's like, I feel like some of the rappers that are out there are there's better rappers than like what he's putting out. I get it. He could put out who he's putting out, but it's like, come on, man. Eminem is a battle rapper who was the last he was in a battle rap with. I think it was MGK. It has nothing to do with black labels. It's that none of the songs are good. Well, I think that when we had black labels like Ruckus or, at one point when Def Jam was like being ran by Jay-Z or Kevin Liles and all these people, I think that, and by the way, after going back and doing my research, I had no idea that Kevin Liles actually wrote for Milli Vanilli. Crazy, right? That's how you got to start. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think he wrote for Milli Vanilli. Dude looks just like... Okay, I'm not even going to say it. But anyways. Yeah, man. If songs are good, white labels don't care who sings them. Yeah, what I was saying, to go back to Homeboy's point. Black labels definitely did control a certain sound of hip hop. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Live 305. Shout out, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think black labels, black owned companies do kind of control the sound that was coming out and what was being pushed. Whereas you're right. These white owned labels, especially these major white-owned platform labels, they don't really care what's coming out. All they really care, they don't care about the culture. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying majority of them don't care about the culture or the impact of the culture. I mean, it's clearly obvious because look at the rappers that are getting out there. Like I said, again, not to go back on this, but we kind of have to. Saucy Santana gets featured on The Breakfast Club. Why? And what label? Let's see. I mean, I'm sure he's probably on the label with Young Miami. Let me see. Like, who would sign that? Who would sign that? Definitely had to be a white man. Yeah, he's on RCA Records. That's crazy. That's crazy that this dude has a major deal. A man who obviously has a mental issue is signed to RCA Records. Before partnering with RCA, he managed his breakout independent success and early release projects with Arena Music Productions. He signed to boost radio reach, clear major samples, and support mainstream releases like Booty and Material Girl remix with Madonna. What is or was Madonna thinking? Do you see what I'm saying? The fact that a major record company went and signed a man who wears a beard and a dress. That's my point that I'm trying to make. There is not one good rapper out right now. Not even Kendrick. Thank you for the support coming in. I appreciate y'all. You never heard of Montana of 300? Nah, that's not what we said. That's not what we said. We said of the label. I don't listen to Drake or Kendrick. Okay. All right. Shout out. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you guys for the likes coming in. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. I'll have to peep it. I'll have to listen to it. We'll see. We'll see if it's dope or not. All I know is that this dude being signed to RCA Records proves my point even more about the agenda being pushed. Now, to go back to the other homie's comment about the black labels. You're right. Had there been a black person behind this, I don't think Saucy Santana is coming out. At least not on a record label. That's for damn sure. No black man is going to sign this degenerate rapper and put him in videos with black kids. I can't see a black record company being okay with that. This is definitely something that's being orchestrated by the white man. Like I said, no disrespect, but I'm willing to bet. And if any black man is behind this and allowing this to be signed and he's the A&R for this, then he is a slave to his master. Just like the fact that NBA YoungBoy named his tour that he made millions of dollars on the Massa Tour. Massa. He spelled it M-A-S-A. Now, if we added an extra S or we don't have to, isn't that what the slaves used to call their masters? They used to call him Massa. Yes, Massa. Whatever you like, Massa. Oh, Massa, we going east, Massa. We's hungry, Master. When the master was hungry, the slave was hungry too. Oh, you hungry? Yeah, I mean, we's hungry, Massa. We's hungry. YB is free now, though. Yes, true. And did you also hear that he moved to South Korea? And he said he's never planning on coming back to the United States? I told y'all. A lot of people don't want to be in the United States. Yeah, Jose. Yeah, he moved out of the country, which I don't blame him. He did his tour, his Massa tour, his slave Massa tour, and then he moved out of the United States. Let's see if we can pull it up for context for those of you that don't know. I think I might have like a little clip right here I could play. And then did you hear how his mom was like going after him, saying that she'll never speak, that it's going after him, saying something about you know, whatever. His mom took to social media and started talking trash about him. I'm like, oh, now I see where he gets it from. You know, it's like I said, man, I used to say this. I used to teach at a school, just to let you guys know. And I used to say, when I would see kids acting up in school and not doing what they're supposed to do, when you meet the parents, you see that they're not far off from the parents. It's like they say, you know, the apple doesn't really fall far from the tree. You know what I mean? Yeah, let me pull it up. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but at least you'll be able to hear it.
Shit felt great. I used to tell myself, oh, I'd never get $100,000 a show. To each show of Massa.
The Massa show, the Massa tour. You know what I mean? Here, let's just pull it up right here.
So, nigga, I'm a very natural person, but most of my achievements came very unexpectedly. And it actually came from hard work, not knowing that it'll come, but just like not giving up on myself, and that shit felt great. I used to tell myself, oh, I'd never get $100,000 a show. To each show of Massa tour, nigga, I got 1.5. I ain't get no fucking 500, nigga, I got 1.5 every show. Nothing less than 1.2 a night.
Mm-hmm.
I never believed no shit like that. I never thought shit like that. I never thought about actually having a #1 album and all that. I always wanted it. I always said I wanted it. But you would never believe none of that shit, my dude.
Okay, so that was just a little clip of him talking about how he made 1.5 million on each of the show and didn't think he was going to be able to be capable of that. Shout out to him for that, and shout out to him getting out the country. I think that's cool that at least he got out of the country and doing his thing. But like I said, man, it's just interesting that the name of that tour was the Massa Tour. I'm telling you, man, a lot of these kids, they out there selling their soul, man. They selling their soul.
Contrail, who's Contrail?
All right, drama. Yeah, NBA YoungBoy, man, but like we already know his fans though, man. We already know his fans. We gonna see what happens, and like I said, man, I don't blame him for getting out the U.S. I think he made the right decision. Like I said, I don't know if we got to play his mom thing. Should we play that? Or no, that's too generic. Like I said, I don't like playing degeneracy too much on here. I'll play a little bit of some degeneracy that we might need to see, but I don't like to focus on too much degeneracy. You know what I'm saying? I am a YB fan too, just not a delusional one. Exactly. Like, I guess we can try to see if this plays real quick.
My relationship with my mama used to be a big part of my anger.
See? Told y'all.
Until I told myself, like, it's just certain shit you can't fix. Like, certain people you're not going to just bond with in the way that you expect or the way that you desire. Basically, just long for and just hope for. So I started loving my mom from a distance. Like, today, I never speak to her again. Like, we'll never talk again. I know this for a fact.
Damn. He's a young kid, though, man. I think he'll talk to his mom again.
But I love
Migo, what's good? You said nobody better than YB.
Like, I care.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she know that, too. I want her to know that.
Somebody said this point right here, which I think is kind of interesting. This was like from a year ago, but I think it's an interesting point. They said NBA YoungBoy has the potential, right? He has the potential to lead the young black generation like Tupac if he put a little bit of consciousness in his music. The way NBA YoungBoy has the minds of black Americans in the streets all over America now is the same way Tupac had the minds of young black Americans in the streets all over America in the 90s. Imagine if NBA YoungBoy was conscious and started leading young black men into consciousness by the way of image and music, sprinkling black knowledge in his music. Not too much that it scares street niggas away, but just enough like Tupac did, where the consciousness mixed with the street rap could also go into the subconscious minds. Yeah, he ain't trying to get, I can't repeat that part on the stream, but yes, I hear what you're saying. Spam, trash. Funny name. Yeah, nobody better than YB Migo. Are you serious with that? Man, I heard your raps. I didn't get that vibe from you. Yeah, I agree with that take. He could. It depends. I mean, it seems like every time I listen to Y Boy, YoungBoy, NBA, whenever I listen to his interviews, he always sounds like, and I think he is in some way, going through something. You know what I mean? It always seems like he's like going through something. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? And I think it's also probably because of the fact that he knows, and didn't he go on to say this, but he didn't want to clarify too much. I put this in another video a while back where he goes off to say that he knows that he's being controlled by the industry and he allowed that. I mean, how else is he going to make $1 million a tour? Dark Side says it fell off. Interesting. Migo Lou says he is the new Tupac. And thank you for the GOAT. Appreciate you, fam. Again. Yeah, he's smart, he's maturing, and he's and a good kid. Yeah, I mean, exactly. In the statement that he made about he's probably never going to see his mom ever or talk to his mom ever again, I don't know if I completely agree that. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I think that he probably will get older and he will eventually talk to his mom again. You know, it's just, even if you don't get along, it's going to happen. Unless you did something really shady to him, then who knows? I'm just seeing what else is trending with him. We'll see. Like you said, he's smart. He's maturing as a kid. Yeah, man. He is. And it's a dramatic interview, man. It's a dramatic interview. I think that this is the time where he speaks on it and he, you know what I'm saying? And he gets hip hop. So now, I don't know if this is really a topic that we need to talk about. It's a topic that's trending on Twitter. And I'll just say one little thing real quick and then you guys can speak on it. Well, what is the difference between the fans versus the stands? Just a question that people were asking. If you guys wanted to just say in the comment real quick. The discussion traces Stan to Eminem's hit Stan about a fan whose frantic letters and we all know about the song Stan, right? But I guess some people were wondering what's the difference between a fan and a stan. We don't need to spend too much time on that subject. It's just a question that popped up earlier today that I was also thinking about. Shout out spam, trash for the follow, man. I appreciate you. Jose, yes, obsession. Exactly. I agree. I think it's when you have too much obsession and when you let these celebrities control your life. And that's the thing that I want to say real quick before we get up out of here is that, some of these celebrities, we cater to too much and we allow to take too much of the time and the space and they ain't really talking about nothing. And that's where I think the culture is shifting. That's where I come in. That's why I do these shows. Because I think it's time for us to take a deeper look at things. You know what I'm saying? And to ask ourselves, is there a possibility? Is there a possibility that there could be a secret agenda that's being pushed by the powers that be to control us? And they're using hip hop. And you know what's funny too? Is that Suge had went on and said this on TMZ just recently. I think he had an interview yesterday or the day before on TMZ where he went on and said that they know that hip hop is one of the most powerful art forms I think ever now at this point. I think it's safe to say ever. All right. I think that there was a point where rock you could consider was larger, and it was. But now I think we're getting to a point now where hip hop is already bigger than rock. I mean, rock and hip hop were both around about the same amount of time, right? But now I think hip hop has slowly elevated over rock. And it's still current, and it's still pretty much predominantly controlling the mainstream. And even if, and this is the one argument that I'm having with somebody on the K-pop thing. Even if, and let me get more thorough on this, because I know that some of y'all be bringing this up sometimes.
And just hope for.
Let me bring this up. I'm gonna pull it up on my screen just for context. Give me a second here. Even if, which I can't believe that some of y'all say, man. Even if you want to bring up these K-pop boy bands that have like, they're like a boy band version of Wu-Tang where they have like 6 or 9 members. Okay? You wanna bring up these K-pop groups?
I don't have friends.
Hey, man. 야, 진아.
Question of life, we are BTS. Woo! Oh! Drake. Hey, do you love me? Are you ready? Drake has
Exactly my point. Asian boys acting black. So even if, like, the one agent who jumped in the comments and said to me, oh, you know what I'm saying, rap is the new rock and roll. Yes, it is the new rock and roll. Absolutely, Jose. And I just wanted to go back to, like, what this person was saying to me in the comments. Even if you want to say, oh, well, K-pop sells more than all the Western artists. But they're copying Western artists. And furthermore, they're acting black. Can we say that? It's like when we had NSYNC. That's what this is now, man. It's like another version of NSYNC. It's another version of the Backstreet Boys. It's another version of New Kids on the Block. It's just the Asian version. First, we had the Jackson 5. Then we had the Osmonds. Then we had the New Editions. And then we had New Kids on the Block. And then after New Kids on the Block, we had Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And then after them, now we have K-pop. It's like gentrification in a way. Yes, it definitely is. Swick Guru said, if it ain't you really in tune out of the mainstream. Yeah, man. The mainstream BS, man. I agree with you on that. You can't say Griselda is mainstream. The mainstream is, yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree 100%. Yeah, man. And like I said, to go back to the point, like this person, I can't even believe that they even brought up how they're trying to say to me that, like, oh, well, they sell more than Western groups. So just because they sell more records, that means that I'm supposed to automatically say that it's good? Yes, Chinito Mafioso, you said if you look at the moves, it's all Usher. Absolutely, man. It's all Usher. It's all that. I mean, do we have to play?
Scott's playing.
Eminem.
I'm Drake. He's gospel.
Let's see if we have one of them performing. Oh, but I agree. I've seen all the moves. It's like, are we allowed to do that? Are we really having this conversation, y'all, where we have a K-pop group, BTS, or let's just say BTS, because I guess they're the ones that are popular right now. BTS performance. Like, where we have them, as you mentioned, Chinito, we have them performing, dancing, and singing like black R&B groups, which is a complete copy of the culture and our style. But we're supposed to automatically say, oh, well, it's dope because... All right, you're going to tell me that this ain't Michael Jackson? You're going to tell me that that crooning sound, that vocal tone, that frequency is not Michael Jackson? Oh, man. So we take a whole sound and we take a whole culture and we take a whole thing, right? And we just put, yes, robots. I agree with you. A bunch of robots. We just put a Korean person doing it, or robot or clone, or however you want to say it. Let's just you know, we're gonna just say that this is dope. It's dope, even though it's completely copying a culture that has nothing to do with their culture, and that's great. I'm not mad at people wanting to embrace different cultures, but my point is let's call it as it is. Bro said the Clips album saved us. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree that the Clips album saved us. It was a good album. It was a good album, but definitely Michael Jackson. Wow. That move right there is straight up Michael Jackson. All right, let me bookmark this. Yo, this is so trash, such trash. I don't understand what people are saying, man. Haha. Mateo says, listen to some West Side Gun, Freddie Gibbs, etc. Yeah, I know all them dudes personally. I know all them dudes personally. Same thing with Conway. Go check out the channel. You see Benny the Butcher giving me a shout out. But is that enough? Yes, I agree with you though, Chinito. A bunch of robots for sure. Is that enough though? Is that enough for what we have that's going on right now? And West Side Gun, to be honest with you, he's all right. He's all right. He ain't that dope. He ain't that dope to me. He just sounds like another version of Ghostface. He's like another Ghostface Action Bronson. He's like Action Bronson and Ghostface put together, and then this another style. You know what I mean? But he's cool. Yeah, he's cool, but he's not like, yeah, he ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, you could like, oh yeah, Jose says, yeah, West Side Gun. Yeah, I knew about these dudes before they became famous, man. You could check my YouTube channel. I'm covering them at Coachella when they were still doing Griselda. There was only like 20 people in the audience. There was like 20, and I'm not trying to clown them or knock them. I'm just saying, like, I was there like in the beginning for Griselda. You know what I'm saying? Like way before they blew up. But I like Conway. Like if I had to choose between that group, I like Conway a lot better than West Side Gun. But West Side Gun's cool. He's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you could go to my YouTube channel, beatGrade, which is right here. Check the YouTube channel. Look up under performances. or it's like it's one of the playlists that are on there. You may have to search for the playlist because I took it off the home page because I didn't want to be known as a person that just covers shows. But yeah, man, I was there. I was there for Griselda before they blew up. I covered a couple of performances with them. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. Conway's bigger now. He's bigger now. I wish I would have got at him way before. You know what I'm saying? Way before he got big. Because I was definitely trying to get an interview with Conway. Now that dude's doing interviews with Mike Tyson, making Mike Tyson cry. So, it's probably going to be a little harder now to get an interview with Conway now. But that's why it's always good to get in with these dudes before they become super famous if you're trying to get an interview with them. Because once they become famous, it's like, whew, it gets hard. It gets hard. This before BSF days. Conway nice. Benny the nicest out of all of them bars wise. Not going to lie. Benny the Butcher deserves, yeah, he does, with how BSF been doing. Yeah, go to my YouTube channel right now. Go to beatGrade, which is right here, or you could just search beatGrade, BEATGRADE, beat, and then grade like you grade a paper in school. You can look at Benny the Butcher, man, shouting me out. Like, see, I'm glad I actually caught Benny way before he blew up. I was at a Griselda pop-up right when they was doing the show, and I went to one of their pop-ups, and I was just like documenting, filming, and then I saw Benny. I didn't even know really who Benny the Butcher was at the time. I remember one of the homies that I was with, he pointed out Benny. He's like, yo, that's Benny the Butcher right there. You should get a drop from him. I'm glad he said that because I didn't even know who Benny was at the time. He was just out there. He was like signing CDs, smoking a blunt, whatever, just chilling on the street. And I was like, yo, man, I do hip hop journalism. I'd love to get a drop from you. And he was like, yo, let's do it. And he shouted me out. beatGrade. So, yo, shout out to Benny the Butcher for that. Shout out. Oh, yeah, and thank you, Swick Guru, for the follow, man. I appreciate you. You said you rap too. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. Thank you for the follow. I'll check it out. I like to listen to up-and-coming rappers, man. That's what I do. That's how I found out about Benny the Butcher. That's how I found out about Westside Gun. I'm sorry, but Gun is the ish. Don't get me wrong. Conway is amazing. Don't make me choose, though, please. Yeah, I mean, Westside Gun is cool. I think sometimes some of his verses could be a little overrated. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I mean? But he's cool. He's entertaining. Let's say that. He's entertaining. But what I will say though is that I think he sounds better with him and Conway as a group, which you will see on my YouTube channel where I have him and Conway rapping at Coachella. I think he sounds better as like a group. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. So we're at about the 2.5 hour mark. I think I might go for another 20 minutes or so. We'll see. Let's make it maybe a full 3 hour stream. I want to say thank y'all though that have been jumping on. Thanks to my members. Thanks to those of you that supported. Thanks to those of you that have donated to the stream. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys are liking, double tapping the screen, sharing the stream, following. Thank you for those of you that have followed too. I really appreciate y'all. Let's see. Before we get up out of here, there are a few more topics that I think I wanted to cover before we jump up out of here. And I think one of them was that, yeah, man, these rappers are dumb. That's what we're talking about, man. These rappers are dumb. Y'all are snitching on yourselves. Y'all are wearing dresses and makeup and painting your nails and carrying purses. And then y'all are going to jail for the lyrics that you wrote. Yeah, man. A lot of y'all rappers right now are dumb. And how this is getting promoted, I just don't understand. Yes, as a collective, man. Now we got the YG thing. Let's hear what Whack 100 got to say about YG. Now, even though I know that Whack 100 be lying a lot, let's just hear. Let's just hear what he's got to say real quick. I mean, all these dudes be just lying, man. You're right. As a collective, it's just crazy, man. I'm gonna let Whack 100 speak on this. Yeah, we ain't gonna go back to Saucy. And I'll be right back with y'all while I let this play.
Well, do you think that YG will be charged with this murder?
Eventually, absolutely, yes.
Okay. Do you think he'll be convicted?
That all depends on
be right back
how much information they have to justify the charges. And I'm not saying he will be charged because he did it. I just understand these streets, and I've never seen a group that large not fold eventually. Somebody's gonna say something.
Right. Someone's gonna want to
lie or the truth.
Someone wants to get out of jail free card at some point. These are not a bunch of school kids who are going and getting their master's degree, who are able to stay out of trouble for the rest of their lives. At some point, someone's gonna beat up their baby mother, or they're gonna, get caught with a gun, or get caught in a fight, or caught with some drugs.
There you have it.
And they're gonna be facing 20 years. And they're gonna say, well, I got something for you.
There you have it. And
I got something for you.
And they can make up. Man, I got partners that have done decades behind a complete lie. Like the actual guy that did it, literally everything he did, put it on the next dude. And it sounded believable because this is really what happened.
Right.
But they just removed himself and said it was this dude. Yeah. Like, so when you're dealing with that, right? Yes, I believe eventually, I hope it don't happen, but I believe eventually, I've never seen a group of street dudes like that, and a lot of them probably didn't know each other, just stand tall and nobody not say anything. I haven't seen it. Somebody's gonna say something.
Well, speaking of YG, he had the verses with Game. I actually wanted to go, but I was flying in that particular night. I would have loved to actually see it, because my first video project ever was done with Game before you and I ever met. So me and him go way back. We've always been cool with each other. But according to the official scorecard, YG won 19-3.
I don't believe Game went to battle, even though we know what a versus is. I believe Game took the position of the elder, the big homie. I believe Game looked at it that this was Compton, bombed him. And I believe Game single-handedly took that situation and made it a celebration, because it's a bunch of music that he could have led with. He could have came out swinging hard. You know what I mean? I don't think Game wanted to battle YG. He didn't have any points to prove to YG. You get what I'm saying? YG played the music he was supposed to play, and Game was just matching the energy, not trying to supersede it, although he could have. You know what I mean? You come out one blood. You come out that time. He came out with Travis Barker beating the drums, which is a great look. You know what I mean?
It's not a song everyone
That's
knows.
a B-side type song,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So I believe Game's what he wanted to do, I think Game achieved what he wanted to do, which is have fun, have a blast, bring some people together. There was a lot of people there that's been enemies over the last decade or so. Overall, if you're gonna say song for song, was it matched? I don't think it was matched. I'm a Game fan, I'm a YG fan, but I don't think it was a battle. But if you're asking me, all right, the Game match his energy with song for song, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say Game just was keeping the party going. Could he have? He could have came out. He didn't even play none of his songs with Kendrick. Not one. You know what I'm saying? So YG didn't either as well. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was a versus. It was kind of like how Snoop and DMX did their thing. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We was all looking for this East Coast, West Coast battle, and they was in there rocking out. It was just a bunch of great music.
Yeah, what's funny is I actually did a poll on my Twitter, and I got like over 300 votes. I said, who's winning the versus, Game or YG? My audience was a little bit older, put Game at 85%. They basically had Game washing YG. But if you look at the actual, final scorecard, it was the other way around. 19-3 is basically about 85% to 15%. So yeah, listen,
there's no way. Let me say this. King Green says hip hop is still good. Game didn't even put up his best songs at the verses. You're right about that. Game had no business versus YG. Vlad is the feds. Yes, hopefully Vlad doesn't get mad at my video for using. Well, he probably will, but whatever. I feel that everybody that knows real hip hop will know that Game won that versus, even though, like Wax said, it wasn't really a battle. It was just to show Compton. It was to show the Bloods uniting. He wanted to do like his own little pop. It was like his own little mini pop up. That's what it was. It was like his way of saying, Kendrick, okay, Kendrick did his pop up. I'm gonna do my pop up with Apple Music. Best believe Kendrick was watching that versus. Best believe that. Kendrick was watching that versus. All right. But I think those of us that know what's up know that YG did not, like, there's just like, no. And I saw that too. I saw people put in the comments, or Apple Music put up their rating, their score, where they said, YG beat the Game in all avenues. And it's just like, come on, man. YG doesn't even have a song that compares to Game's music. And I'm not even the biggest Game fan, but I got to tell you, it's like, let's be real. Mama, I can't think. He said, man, I can't think of one YG song. Maybe I'm old. Yeah, I agree. I can't think of one YG song either. Maybe the two didn't boot it. Now that I heard him perform that, maybe that song. But to go back to YG being charged, yeah, man, these rappers are dumb. Like, how does this happen at a show, man? How do y'all go and do something like this? And like Vlad said, even though a lot of y'all say Vlad is the feds, you could be right. Like he said, man, how is it that one of these dudes ain't going to snitch? We already know this, yo. We already know that one of these dudes is going to snitch. Because that's all these rappers do now, man. All these rappers do is they tell on each other. Sure, I fix this mic so y'all can hear me good. Yeah. They all tell on each other, man. Ali destroys the YG catalog. I probably agree with you, man. I'm not really the biggest YG fan. YG is another rapper where I ask myself, how did he get in? How did he get in? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't think he's really that great of a rapper either. I mean, well, I met him, I think, one time, not really officially, but just like, you know, we were just like backstage at some event, and he was just like, what's up, what's up? Like, he was cool, he was nice, he was humble, so I'll give him that. But other than that, it's just like another rapper. Yeah, he don't be spitting nothing. Yeah, he corny as F. He don't spit nothing. Yeah, I agree. Hot take. Game has enough hits to go against Jay-Z. I think Game versus 50 Cent would be a better battle. That would be a more even battle, Game and 50 Cent. Imagine that, man. Mustard made TF famous. Yeah, true. Yeah, imagine that, man, if we had a versus with 50 Cent in the Game. Woo! And you know, that beef might be really real, man. That would be really real. I can make a Lloyd Banks versus YG, and I got Lloyd winning. I agree with you too, man. I think Lloyd is a better rapper than YG. They're both not really my thing, but you know what I'm saying? I think like Lloyd Banks is a better rapper. I will say this though, man. YG with that new song that he put out with Pusha T was disappointing to me. The one with, and I like Pusha T as a rapper. I gotta say that song really made me feel it really like pissed me off in a way. Like when Pusha T jumped on that verse, and I felt like that was the most average verse I've ever heard from Pusha T. And I get it. Maybe he's just rapping on a YG track because they're both like part of the same label. See, that's another thing, man. When you're signed to Universal or Rock Nation and you're part of that machine It's almost like you have to like do certain tracks or certain favors for certain rappers. That's what's happening, man. Doing certain favors for certain rappers. Okay, I get it. But I really have to say, man, I was very disappointed in that track. You said Pusha been disappointing lately. Yeah, man. I can see that. King Cooper, you said, I think court using rap lyrics as evidence is making hip hop fall off. Shh. Yeah. True that, King Cooper. But let me ask you this, King Cooper. Let me ask you this. Should a rapper be talking about the crimes that they committed? Like, I think that would be stupid in the first place. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all can hear me right. Yeah, that would be stupid in the first place to talk about the crimes that you committed. That is something that maybe you shouldn't talk about. But not only is it something that you possibly shouldn't talk about, but on top of that, aren't there more things to discuss in rap music that doesn't have to do with crime? You know, I'm gonna drop some knowledge real quick before we get up out of here. Like, there was this artist around a long time ago, right? And this guy was like figuring out a bunch of stuff about man, symbolism, the universe, astrology. You know, things that people don't really talk about anymore today, right? And he was like really smart, right? Did these paintings of man and stuff like that, right? They even say that he was one of the first ones, you know, Leonardo da Vinci, right? They even went on to say that he was one of the first ones that figured out how to fly an airplane or figured out how to build the airplane. Supposedly he talked about man being on Mars. Okay, this is like going way before we even had airplanes and spaceships. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think this was it right here. You know, like imagine if you could find these drawings that he did. All right? Where I'm pulling some of this up. Founding figure of the high Renaissance who excelled in many fields, including paintings, engineering, science, and invention. He was largely self-educated and filled notebooks with observations, theories, and inventions. This dude was like the first dude to like figure out how to like fly planes. We're going back to like the 1400s. Okay? Christopher Columbus days. Right? How come nobody in rap talks about this types of stuff? Jose says, who are you comparing to Da Vinci to, or what are you talking about? I'm lost. I'm just going off on a deep subject. Sometimes I go deep on these subjects. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I keep it surface level, but on today's stream, I kind of want to go a little deeper. What I'm talking about is that we don't have any rappers or musicians, for the most part, that talk about any mind elevating things. We're not talking about things that make you think. We're not discovering new inventions or new technologies. You feel what I'm saying? Thank you, Jose. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. We're not talking about any new aspects. We're not talking about any groundbreaking things. For instance, we don't go back and talk about Egypt. Not once do we hear any of these rappers talk about the pyramids, talk about what was going on in Egypt. And like KRS-One has said, he said that he believes that all the knowledge that we are portraying in hip hop comes from the pyramids of Giza. That this is where the ancient knowledge comes from. Yeah, we don't talk about it at all in hip hop. Well, that could also possibly go back to the secret meeting, right? The secret meeting basically stated that the record industry would no longer sign conscious rappers. They didn't want rappers to continue to speak about such things. So even if, my point is this, is that even if a rapper commits crimes, why is it that that rapper feels the need to go and record a verse of them talking about the crimes that they commit? Why? Aren't there other things that you can speak about in your raps? There's plenty of other things that we have left out of the topic. Like I said, man, the internet and social media has now become a place of degeneracy. You know what's funny is that the internet, I remember, because like this is what I started saying, like this is how I go, is that I remember, oh, and great, hip hop is trending on social media. Can't wait to see what comes up in the feed. As I was saying this, I remember that there was a time where the internet was a place to where we used to go to get information on things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Tev says money drives. I agree. It doesn't sell. MK Ultra. Yep, you're right about that. Hip hop's conscious minds are suppressed by the gatekeepers. I agree with you, man. KRS-One is one smart dude. Yes, he is. For most part, fell off. Some good artists still out there. Something groundbreaking took the words out of my mouth. Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. Grassroots hip-hop isn't toasted. It's not sold or commercialized. Yeah, you guys are right, man. You guys are right on point. Yeah, man. I mean, they have dumbed down the culture so much that the internet is no longer a place to go get information. The internet has actually now turned into a place where it makes you dumber. It makes you dumber, and if you let it, and it makes you, it makes you like horny. Like, because it's like all you're seeing is just dumb content, whether that be fights, rappers getting arrested, rappers snitching, rappers shooting each other, or women twerking. That's all the internet has become. And it almost doesn't matter what platform you're on. Well, YouTube, I will respect. I think they've kind of shifted that. TikTok is doing a better job on it. But Instagram and Twitter, no. Not at all, man. And speaking of which, how we were talking about female rappers today, I see that an interview of Rhapsody was posted yesterday. Yeah, man, we've reached a point where the internet low-key makes you dumber. We no longer can go on here for information. They are controlling what goes viral. They are controlling what becomes famous. Yeah, man. We've reached the point. We've reached a point. Fury says, I'm swaying the blame toward a functioning mechanism rather than the source problem. What is the source problem? Rap ain't hip-hop, first off. Well, I'll tell you what. Saucy Santana is definitely not hip-hop. Hip-hop is going back to the underground. Yeah, I could see that. I could see hip hop going back to the underground. I was just reading what some of these people were saying, which is crazy. Like I said, nothing really having impact. Now, Rhapsody, she's a conscious woman. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. She usually has some good stuff to say. She usually has some good takes. Oh yeah, we're gonna get back to Jay-Z doing his witchcraft thing. They letting the witches in, man. They letting the witches in. Be careful. Be careful. Hip hop is letting witches in. Mainstream hip hop will be rejected. 2020 hip hop has been bad. Yep, Andy, I kind of agree with you. Let's hear what Rhapsody had to say real quick.
Sometimes it feel like on a mainstream business level, we've given the culture away.
Sold it out.
Yeah, definitely sold it out or watered it down.
Definitely, we have watered it down and we have given it away. I'm so glad that Rhapsody said this, and this goes back to my point earlier. That's why Rhapsody is more famous than these other female rappers. I said we need female rappers who are at a mainstream level. Let's hear what Rhapsody has to say.
The culture is beautiful, like it's strong. Like if you know what the culture really is outside in the street and everyday life.
Rhapsody right here.
Small, cities, countries, towns, all around the world, groups of people. But on a mainstream level, like what we project to the world of what hip hop is, like it could be, very small.
Thank you, Jose, for the rose.
Of how women are represented, even how men are represented. This idea of what hip hop is, flashy, it's gangsta, it's no, it's a beautiful art form, and I think we haven't protected it enough in that way. Even in media, we aren't protecting it enough. Like even some places we go to sit down and tell our stories, we're giving it to the wrong people, I think.
The next bar, you said it was to the gate on the culture and turn the key. No Jumper and Vlad, the whole industry.
Again, like why do we go sit down with certain people and give so much of a story away that I don't think is necessarily protected
It's because Vlad pays. That's the reason why people go on Vlad TV. Yep, Lauryn Hill for sure. I feel like Rhapsody is the closest thing that we have to Lauryn Hill right now. I will always love hip hop, but it's whack right now, Andy says. Yeah, a lot of people say F Vlad. Although I think he does have some decent takes on certain things, but you're right. A lot of the stuff that he talks about is it's just gay stuff, man. Let's just be real. Like that's how he gets a lot of his hits, and that's how he gets a lot of his traffic is by talking about gay stuff going on within the culture, which is just really like strange and weird. So I hear what Rhapsody is saying about this, but yeah,
like I'm just trying to see the angle.
Culture vulture. Yep.
I just love this culture too much, and there are people that really love it and care about it, and we won't go sit down and have these long conversations with them, right? We'll talk about things that we don't like versus the people that we do like. It's like, how are we being intentional with our art form and our story and our truth and who we give it to? Like journalism matters, who holds our truth matters and how it's presented to the world. Like I just think we should care more about it.
Yeah. She's speaking facts, yo.
We should care more about it.
She's basically saying everything that I pretty much just said on this stream today. Exploiting all the negativity for profits and access. Yeah. And she made a good point where she said we should watch who we go and who we sit down with and have these discussions with. Because you're right. It's like, why are we giving our stories away to these people. Well, I understand why, because again, like I said, Vlad pays. So that's why a lot of them are going on Vlad. But again, I like the point that she made about how we present hip hop as this flashy, money getting, expensive car driving type of culture, which that really has nothing to do with hip hop. This is where the industry came in and infiltrated rap music. This is where the industry came in and said, okay, we're going to find a way to infiltrate the rap music and make all of these rappers dumb. There's some good indie beat makers really holding it down right now worldwide. Yeah, I'm sure there are. Thank you, Goomson. I appreciate the comment. Yeah, I'm sure they are, but right now we're talking about the people that are rapping on the tracks. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the rappers. And like I said, man, it's obvious. I mean, like I said, man, if you guys can't see it at this point, that clearly there's an agenda that's being pushed to separate the culture from reality and make all these degenerate rappers famous. If you guys can't see that, man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Once they promoted MC Hammer versus Vanilla Ice, it was over for true hip hop. Funny you say that. MC Hammer just did a post today on Twitter about his first debut song. I think came out like 30 something years ago or plus. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that MC Hammer. Yeah, he just posted that today, or 40 years ago. Damn. He dropped his debut. Feel the power. Wow. MC Hammer was just talking about that. If Snoop Dogg is promoting an album, I don't think it's him, but yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that Rhapsody went up there and said what she said. And then we also have the Kendrick verse anniversary from Control.
Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, J Electron, Tyler McMillan. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you niggas.
Woo. Yeah, that was a tough verse from Kendrick. My list of good modern rappers, Joyner Lucas. Yeah, Joyner Lucas is pretty good. Appreciate you for the share. Thank you, man. Yeah, Joyner Lucas. We were just talking about Joyner earlier today, man. And he is actually the reason that we have brought up Eminem, saying that he said he can't even like call Eminem on the phone without the call being screened. So yeah, man, like I said, we don't really have talks of this type of knowledge. For some reason, we left out a lot of the knowledge. And like Rhapsody was saying, hip-hop is a beautiful culture. And like I said, to go back to what KRS-One had said, Egypt could be the place. It could be the place where all these thoughts of hip-hop are coming from and where hip-hop remanifested itself into the culture of where we are here. But they're not going to talk about that. And on top of that, the industry came in and infiltrated it. They came in and they shook it up. And they said, no, don't talk about that, man. Talk about how many cars you have. Talk about the twerking. Put other rappers in jail. Let us use your lyrics against you. That's what happened. And that's where we are, man. Okay, last dude you said you heard was Jadina Exhibit with Pimp My Ride. That was a funny show, though. That was a funny show. I'll give Exhibit that for that show. Exhibit's first albums were dope, though, man. Molly Santana just dropped an album or a rap song. So yeah, like I said, man, we're in a little bit of trouble. Hip hop, I think, is definitely falling off for the most part. We'll see what happens in the future. And yeah, man, I want to thank everybody. That joined in this stream. I think tomorrow I'm going to speak a little bit more on Egypt and Egypt culture because, yeah, man, I think a lot of people out there are missing this whole perspective. And like I said, I want to start tackling these ideas from a different point of view and from a different perspective. Shout out Robert, you said hip hop is great. Thank you, Jose, for the likes, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I want to start like hitting these topics from a different point of view and a different perspective because I think that we all get caught up in talking about the same thing too much. And, you know, and it's cool, man. We could talk about Drake. We could talk about Kendrick. You know, and I think that is good that we talk about these things. Because let me say this, man. That was a very important battle and a very important thing for the culture. So I don't mind us talking about this. But, man, let me just go ahead and say this. These rappers out here and more people, they need education, man. They need education, and we all need to grow together, man. And we all need to understand why are these degenerate rappers getting so much airplay, like the Saucies and the Whack. You know, the Whack 100 is more of a personality, but you know what I'm saying. These cases, these Tupac cases, these Little Dirt cases, Saucy Santana being on the Breakfast Club. Well, Charlemagne even looks suspicious.
Jury that will determine whether Keefe D orchestrated the murder of rap icon Tupac Shakur. Today, during the third day of jury selection, 11 more prospective jurors were told to return on Thursday for the next stage. That pushes the pool of prospective jurors.
This is all an attack on hip hop, man. All of this is an attack on hip hop and hip hop culture. The man went on Vlad TV and told his story for a paycheck, and now he's in there probably crying.
At the end of the day, both of them were drunk. Right, they're both drunk on stage.
#1 artist.
Didn't Game try to get a G-Unit headband at one point?
I don't know.
Yeah, I heard he wanted to get a,
Yeah, Jose, I'll tell you my take on Egypt and hip hop. We'll say that for tomorrow's show. But like I said, man, it's really what KRS-One was saying to me. You know, and like I said, and I mean, you're speaking to somebody who's been to Egypt, so I know that I can speak on it. You know what I'm saying? It's a distraction. We will watch that BS and not care about what's really going on. Yeah, you're right about that. I think we need J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick to come together. Good point, King Cooper. That's what we were saying earlier. Hip hop is an acronym. What's it stand for? I don't know. You tell us. I'm sure you probably made it up, but tell us what it stands for. Railway says that real hip hop never fell off. Yeah, you're right. Real hip hop, that is. Maybe I should redo the title. It should say mainstream. Has mainstream rap fallen off? And you know what? I think I might do an earlier show tomorrow. I might do 2 shows tomorrow. I'm thinking, because I kind of need to catch up on my streaming thing. I might do one in the afternoon, and then I'll do one a little bit later in the evening, like around this time. So make sure you guys tune in for the show tomorrow. But
he shouted out 50 Cent. I really hope that the two of them just squash it at some point.
It never, you know, I'm the last one.
I know it'll never happen. I hope they do.
No, bro, listen.
Underrated artists.
I worked hard at that.
Yeah, I know.
Me and Monster, Uncle Murder, got them talking in the middle of the club. We ran into each other at an event in San Bernardino. Our trailers were side by side. We're like out there congregating, chilling, and you know, we're discussing tours and all that, and everything is cool.
Oh, thank you, Jose, for asking. We'll just say Eastern time. I usually jump on about 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 10 p.m. Eastern time, New York time. But tomorrow I may do a special broadcast at about 3 p.m. Eastern. So we'll say Eastern time, 3 p.m. I may. It's up in the air. I definitely will stream tomorrow, but it'll be most likely 10 p.m. Eastern. But I'll let you guys know. If I go on at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, then I'll tell you I will be also going again at 10 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, most of the time I go on 10 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, King Cooper, for the follow. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you so much, man. First thing came to mind is to be hip hop, is to be hip, is to know. That's not the acronym, though. Yeah, I feel you're the acronym. That was Furious 5 Grandmaster Flash thing. Yeah, Drake and Kanye killed hip hop. Uh-oh. Kanye? Maybe his recent stuff. I don't know about his older stuff. I mean, or his his older stuff was pretty dope. I don't know. Maybe his recent stuff.
Then I woke up one morning and 50 Cent just dissed it. And then Gang puts up the last 4 digits of his baby's mother phone number, right? Yeah. So I just think 50, the way he runs his program, once you didn't cross him, he's never going to get back in bed with you.
Well, here's what I think. I think that these types of situations work and get reconciled when both people have something substantial to gain. I think 50 is so high up that he realizes if I squash it with Game, the final result won't be that big of a deal.
For him, yeah.
For him. It'll be a bigger deal for Game, right? And that's no shot to anybody. That's but 50 financially has just gone through the roof, right? And Game does well also. Yeah. No one's broke. No one's broke. Yeah. But 50 is just on a different level from all of us, including me and you. Yeah, so I'm okay with saying that. And that's the problem sometimes when you cross someone that's so high up, they have no reason to come back down and fix it with you.
Interesting point. Yeah. You gave me a topic to speak on tomorrow. Yeah, man, we're going to speak on the Egypt philosophy tomorrow. I'll go more into depth into that. But yes, man, the fact that these rappers, none of these rappers really, who knows, maybe I'll be the first one to bring it back. But none of these rappers speak on Egyptian philosophy, which they should, because Egypt is in Africa and there's a lot of culture that was going on there, which has a lot of similarities that are in hip hop culture. Like when we used to break dance, and I'll just throw this out here. I'll give you a little snippet. When we used to break dance, we used to call those, you know, those like all that, like the tuts. That all came from the hieroglyphics. That came from us studying the hieroglyphics. So like we have already implemented hieroglyphics into hip hop culture. Not to mention that Nas went on his album I Am, which is one of the most powerful statements that you can make, and said that he is I am I, or I am, which is the most powerful statement that you can make. He has the song Nas is like, I'm the feeling of a millionaire spending 100 grand. One of my favorite bars by Nas. He went and put a picture of himself as the Pharaoh on the album cover. And yes, let me go ahead and pull it up for context. Let's get rid of this. And let's pull up Nas I Am album cover just before we get up out of here. Okay? So we can see right here. The album cover for I Am is Nas as a pharaoh. So, yes, we do have some Egyptian-esque metaphors in hip-hop. Thankfully, there's some rappers out there that use their brain and think. and want to use their music to put out a consciousness. Chris says it completely fell off. Drake and Kanye ain't hood. I think because of how rap turned violent, hip hop took the backlash. Yeah, Caesar said you had to be from the hood to rap. Yeah, I think it was like that back in the days, but I think it finally changed. So yeah, man, there's some rappers out there that put that out there, but my point is that there's not enough. And there's not enough conscious rappers that are out there putting that out there. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to discuss this more tomorrow. Make sure you guys jump on. I might do an early afternoon stream around 3 p.m. Eastern. But I definitely will be going on tomorrow at 12 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys check for the channel. Like, subscribe. Shout out to everybody again who followed, who contributed, who donated to the stream. I appreciate y'all. And we've coming up just about on 3.5 hours. So we put in the work today. I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. All right. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and holler at me on the channel. All right. All right. Peace, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to rock with y'all on the next one.